telling people, it's going to go to this. Asked one question once, me, Spence, Jen, even Tara.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit, Sugar.
Chug, we're losing you, man. You got a signal issue.
Yeah, no, I have heard that, like, the hedge space, like, I actually kind of respect, like, the direction that they're going, like, doing, like, real trading.
I have no respect for them. Hedge literally told Sugar to go back to his own country. He's a racist piece of shit.
Oh, and no, I'm not saying individual, just, like, that they're not, like, blindly pumping Adam Aaron, you know?
Yeah, Shug, I'm going to drop you and bring you back up.
The ones, now I'm blocked, so I don't know if he's changed recently, but that guy still pumps Adam Aaron.
Oh, really? Last time I went on there, it was mostly just like options trading and stuff.
What are they talking options trading for?
I agree. It's insane.
They're rebranding it.
People take options. I don't get that.
Here's the thing Sugar was saying earlier with these other plays, man. I told everybody a week ago that UPST buy puts. I tweeted it. UPST is down 45% over a week ago since I told people to buy puts. But people still go to Hedge Reaper's call. I'm not even gonna be nice, man. Hedge Reaper is the biggest sack of shit I've ever met on the internet. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, if you literally got the worst, most stupid people together at a table, it's Ape Radio. It's just disgusting how much money they've lost, people. And I tried to help them.
I agree with you on that.
You actually called out Coinbase, too. I made a lot of money off those Coinbase puts back in, what was that?
They called out Coinbase because they were stealing my... Dude, the whole Coinbase thing came from not even me, but my group I was rolling with after the SBNY thing. Anything they did on Coinbase, they stole from my account.
Yeah, I'm scrolling.
I'll just be honest, man. You stick up for Ape Radio anymore, you might as well just go to their call, man. And I like you, Secretary. I know you've been in our calls a lot, but Ape Radio, Hedge Reaper literally told Sugar to go back to his own country. Sugar is more of an American than fucking I am, in my opinion. So.
Oh, yeah. I definitely like Sugar. Nah, I'm definitely not. No individuals, I just didn't like the whole, like, how Adam Aaron's so great, because that was, like, what a lot of the calls were about originally. And that's
Dude, Secretary, they were literally worshipping Adam Aaron every single day. And they used to have a calls. Their title used to say, "Sugar is broke." Imagine that when your life you have nothing else and you have to call somebody like me who's nobody on this Twitter, no influencer, nobody. And these people had the title "Sugar is broke." Dude, I'm very blessed, and I can't thank this country enough for where I am today, what I have achieved. I have achieved with hard work. I've never cheated. I've never done anybody wrong. I hope these people and they're still doing that. I hope they can going forward. They can learn from these experiences, make money, make their life better, and fight for what's right.
They ain't. Sugar ain't fucking broke. Me and Elo always wondering how he has that big ass house, man. We think he works for Citadel. You make Marc Cohodes. Does Marc pay you?
Yeah, Marc's paying me. You guys are only getting 5,000 a month. I'm getting 10,000 a month, man.
Supposedly, I work for Ken Griffin and Citadel. I don't know where that came from.
Of course you do, dude. You're Bobby Axelrod. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, I'm right. I cannot wait for Sunday. I'm starting rewatching season 6. I bought a T-shirt today on Amazon. Max Capital shirt.
That's awesome.
If anyone I have the most respect in all this shit show is Marc, dude. That man had all the money in the world. He came to help us, educate us, not just for likes and money. He has all the money in the world. If he wanted to short AMC like all these bigums and Ape Radio people are saying, he could have easily made 20 to $50 million. But what did he do? He chose to buy, I think, 60,000 shares and to fight because he always tried to help the little guys.
And educate us all. He educated us all. I feel like I owe the man tuition. College was the biggest waste of money I ever went to. Marc gave free education on Twitter and then helped us fight and beat Vlad Tenev when the SBNY short scandal was going on. And we won. Now, if all the people like Cat Striker and Bigums and Trey and all these dumb fucks would just shut their mouths, we would have won with T0. We would have seen the biggest stock event in the history of the stock market with T0, but they wanted to slander Marc. And Bigums even came out on a video and started telling Marc, saying that Marc was gay and all this, and he's a faggot, and all these like derogatory words to Marc. Bigums is a club-footed junkie who don't know shit. And like you said, Sugar, anybody who works a job, Domino's, I love Domino's, man. Their CEO actually gave bonuses during the pandemic to his employees, right?
Actually had a bad stock, but I'm not giving stock tips.
Right, not financial advice. But Bigums, man, I know these northern people, just like Jen. She's from Michigan, dude. I know these type of people up north, man. Go ahead, Elo. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I see Ali. I see Amy. You want to bring those ladies up here?
Oh, Allie. Allie.
Yeah, I would like to see Ali.
Oh, where's
I still have a theory. Ali and Amy are the same person, so I want to hear them talk at the same time.
Oh, that.
No, they're not the same person.
It's
But
because they're
friends.
Allie's been waiting for
identical.
Allie's been waiting for this for a hot minute, man. If you guys want to come up, and Brando too.
Ali, ask Spence because I'm trying to answer you the best I can, but I don't know if I'm.
Okay, here's the thing. If you can, going forward, there are those who want to figure out, how their average will end up because they have AMC and APE. Please don't tell people why they didn't listen to you and all that. Please don't do
Amy,
that. Just help them if you can get answer their questions. And if
you shouldn't help no motherfucking bodies.
Hold on.
Come on.
See, you guys are like my devil and my angel, and then PJ's like the logical. But real quick though, look, Amy, you got to quit being so brand new all the damn time because your new profile pictures kind of got me thinking a little bit. All right, like you look kind of good. So
you can get it, Spence.
I've been drinking. I'm gonna not even lie. So,
no,
she looks good. Like Amy's new profile photo looks good.
Amy, thank you for coming. Ali had a question. So, she has like few thousand shares of AMC and 6,000 or whatever, APE. How would her average cost will pan out? And what will the brokers do shady stuff? Who knows what will happen? So how will all that pan up?
Well, so, I mean, what you're seeing right now is the prices are converging, right? So you're seeing APE go up and AMC come down. They'll meet at a price, I think somewhere around 285 or 3. And then once the conversion goes through, I mean, APE's just going to, the value of APE is going to come from AMC shareholders, right? So whatever the differences will be made up from the AMC shares. So, and APE they issued more APE than they did AMC. So there's somewhere where you can figure that math out. I'm driving, so I can't look it up right now, but there's a way to figure that out.
It's about 285 right now, Amy. If you take the market caps, that's what I'm using. So you're right there.
$35.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying pre-conversion dollars, so it's not confusing. I mean, reverse split.
Yeah. Right, which after the reverse split makes that $28.50 the price. So I don't know what her average is, but you would take the two averages.
Well,
to find the math. Do you have the math on it?
The market makers.
It's about 285. It's bouncing so much right now. We're sitting about 285.
They're asking about her average.
Look, I'm saying if she has 6,000 APE and 2,000, let's say APE she has at $4 and AMC she has at $14. Okay,
So-
let's put it that way. Where would it meet, and how would it get?
Well,
What you got to do,
I'm basing the conversion on market cap. So they're going to meet based on market cap right now, the way the prices are, about 285. Now it could be I've been saying 250 forever. And the reason I've said that is because Antero loaded up on freaking $2.50 puts. So
we're talking about her cost average though. So I got the answer.
well, it's not going to
Anybody hear me?
matter. It's not. Well, eventually, I mean, they're going to, like you're saying, they're going to converge.
I have the math. Allie, when I get home, I'll DM it to you because I have the math on how you can figure out your cost average.
Can anybody hear me?
Driving right now.
No,
I
Spence.
can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Spence. Now, Amy, thank you for doing that, my dear.
I have the answer if anybody wants to let me.
Yes, talk,
Yes,
Spence.
speak, man.
I mean, I literally built a calculator for this. So you got to take your AMC shares, divide them by 10, because that's what the reverse split is going to be. And then you take your APE shares, and for every 10 APE you have, you're going to have one AMC share, right? And then what's going to happen, there's actually a cost average calculator I shared on Twitter. It's a really good one, actually. Basically, your AMC shares divided by 10, and then with the reverse split. So if your cost average on AMC right now is $10, your AMC shares are going to have $100 cost average. Then you take your APE and say you bought at $1.80, right? What you want to do is you want to take every 10 APE shares you have, you're going to get one AMC. Then that's going to give you the total amount of new AMC shares you're going to have times the reverse split. And if you go put that into a calculator, it's really just averages. It's an average, which is simple math. You take those two, and that's what your new cost average is going to be. So,
And I'm not giving financial advice, but looking at the court date, just start thinking out loud. If you're looking at the court date, you know where the stocks are converting to. You can watch what's happening right now. You should consider why you are holding one of those two stocks at all right now.
It's too late now, isn't
Not
it?
really. It's still going to go down. It's going to go down farther. It's just started. Now, what I feel for is my understanding, if you're not in the U.S., most of those brokers don't trade after hours, and that sucks because you're watching those happen. You can't do anything. But it's going to go down, PJ.
Yeah,
So-
but T-Dog, people, those who have $15 or $20 average, I mean, you know what? They have half the APE. Let it.
Okay.
If I would just let it play out and see how it goes now. How much worse it's
There's at
already.
least there will at least be 10 days before the conversion and reverse split happens. They still have to file it with the SEC and all of that stuff. Like it's still going to be about 10 days. And so there's still some time. And yeah, I agree with you, dog, that it's going to go down, but I don't think you can discount the.
it'll be August 22nd.
I'll use a nice word and say euphoria of people in the AMC community who, you know, are against APE and for AMC, whatever it is. I don't think you can discount that. So I wouldn't panic sell at the moment.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably most likely going to be August 22nd because Adam Aaron's psychology is to really stick the knife into the side of people. And guess what date August 22nd was?
Yep, launch date of
That
the
was
lollipop.
the issuance of the dividend last year was August 22nd, and Amy said it's 10 days away, and boom, there you go. It's all planned, guys. Project Popcorn was fucking nothing, and I told everybody this, and Al made a bunch of money on fucking YouTube, and I like Al, but I'm done with this shit, man. Al made a ton of money on YouTube. Daily Blend misled a bunch of fucking people. Ethan came and harassed me on my private fucking number, and I'll tell you this right now. I've worked T-Dog, even Amy. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it like that. Amy, T-Dog, PJ, Elo, Sugar, busy brands for the max, man, have been, and I had to learn, and I'm going to say it now. I was fucking wrong. Amy was right. I don't like to, I know it doesn't sound like that, but I don't like to admit I'm wrong. But everybody here has been working to fucking try to save people money and not FOMO into ridiculous shit. And try to protect people, man. It's like a group of fucking guardian angels in this room right now. And Elo too, man. Man, Elo and Sugar get blocked so damn much they can't ever talk because they got to start a new account every week. But
You getting emotional. How many beers you had, man?
Dan, I had 4.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
drinking gin and tonic now, but I don't want people to, dude.
You like Bud Light, I know that. I see you drinking.
Motherfucker, we were so somebody here comes to the bar and he's from Albuquerque and he's on Twitter and I'm pretty sure me and him got fucking heated on Twitter one time and he won't admit it. But he's here and me and him talk at the bar every day and we're good friends now. He won't tell me his Twitter handle. But I'm gonna say this right now. I put a big thing out on Facebook or Twitter, goddamn X, whatever, on X. And I said, when this is over, let's all meet up in Albuquerque. The Marble Brewery Westside Tap Room, the staff is fabulous, man. They're the best people. The owner of the restaurant across the street bought APE because we've been talking about it for years, which is why you saw us all on YouTube today. But everybody's invited. Amy, Elo, T-Dog, Busy, everybody is invited. If you hate me or love me, I don't care. I'm going to try to get the tap room reserved for one night when everybody can come to end this, to have a all hands fucking, hey everybody, what's going on? Shake hands, have a beer. New Mexico's beautiful. It's a great vacation spot this time of year. I'm inviting fucking everyone.
And I want to say one thing, like when all this AMC is done, even if you get, half of your money back or whatever you get, don't be disheartened. There are good stocks out there. It might take you another year or 2 years to get your money back, make up back. Invest in stocks. I bought ENVX at 840. I sold some at 25. And I waited to sit back, and it dropped down again, and I bought again. I'm sitting on almost 200,000 of ENVX shares. So there is stocks to make money, but we have to get out of this buy and hodl mentality. If you are here to make money like in other stocks, invest in other stocks, good stocks. If you get your money back, even if you get half of your whatever money out of this AMC, invest in stocks, wait for it, be patient, have cash on hand. Sometimes all you need is one opportunity. I know somebody, he was down so much money, in AMC, and this was, I think, in January before when Tesla went up, and he had like almost, I think, $10,000 worth of calls of Tesla and that guy got every single dollar his back. He made his money back. So there is money to be made, but just be careful who you listen to going forward. If you're still listening to these, low life YouTubers, I use this word. I don't use it for anybody because YouTubers has cost a lot of people money, and they have made money. But at the same time, misleading people, giving about all this advice. Listen to people, those who've been in markets for 20, 30, 40 years. Don't listen to just these people, selling pizza and then they're giving you financial advice while smoking bongs at the same time.
If someone is giving advice on a stock online, ask them what their fucking yearly return is. Literally, every YouTuber should be posting their yearly return to show you that what they do actually works, and they won't. And I've challenged everybody. I'm 300% on the year right now, and everybody fucking hates me.
So just don't be. We got baby.
Want to speak?
So if you're trying to take advantage of the arbitrage play here, would you want to sell before the actual conversion on the last day, or wait till the actual conversion then sell?
Great question.
Because wouldn't Adam Aaron be able to sell whatever he needs to sell and then bring that price right back down again and not really make a big profit off of the arbitrage?
That's why I didn't like this.
Yeah, but there's not going to be like I don't think there's going to be a time lapse in between the conversion and the reverse split, right? So they're going to...
Agreed.
It's going to happen. AMC will absorb APE, and then it will reverse split from the $1.5 billion. So, I mean, I think I think if you're playing it just for the ARB, you need to be out before it happens.
Well, if you're playing ARB, you're short AMC. That's the difference. So right now, as things sit,
the ARB, what's going to happen is that the AMC price is going to drop and the APE price is going to increase. And
right.
Whatever profits you make, wherever you bought APE, right? Like if you bought it at 66 cents like Antera did, and it goes up to what's it at now, 2 something? It goes up to 285 or wherever they converge, right? I mean, chances are you're not going to be able to top ticket, but you take your profits on APE and get the hell out before they do the conversion or reverse split. I mean, the conversion, like waiting until they do the conversion that's not the arbitrage. The arbitrage is the distance between the AMC price and the APE price.
Right. Well, it's still here
arbitrage right now. This is actually an arbitrage happening in front of your eyes.
Right. And so here's
you're seeing the prices converge. Here's the arbitrage has already happened, right? We've
you already have the position. So Amy, I got a question. Yeah. So the 10 days do start over, because I never really could find, because I know they already went through their 10 days in the past, and the court case happens. So they have to refile again.
Yeah, because if you look at the her first opinion on it, she says that they haven't filed the paperwork with the SEC. So yeah,
so they haven't filed.
Right. Yeah, because they can't file. They can't file it and then be like, oh, but we're waiting on court. Right, so they had to get the status quo order lifted. That is what enables them to file the paperwork with the SEC, and then the clocks are sticking.
That makes sense.
Something to say?
What's up?
You got something to say?
Oh, can I talk in my own space? That'd be cool. So
this is your too.
You T-Dog and Amy, I swear to God, you guys are fucking married. I swear it. But no, you guys are 100% right. Amy's right. T-Dog's right. Amy, you're right. I wanted
sure what the rules are or whatever. I would guess that if they can ask for it to be expedited, they will, simply because they're coming up on the slowest weeks of the market of the whole year.
Yep, and it's bad too.
August are notably the slowest.
I'm short.
Market, so,
and look at the Antero options are for the 18th.
You guys seen I'm short. You guys seen I'm short meta from 2.
I haven't seen something like this before, so I can't attest to that. But it's something that you could probably look up. If there's a way for them to get it expedited, they will.
There's a big macro downside coming in too. That's why I'm short meta from.
Switch gears. Sorry, Spence. Before we switch gears, I have a question.
Oh my God, I'm gonna end the space. I'm literally gonna end the space if I'm not allowed to talk in it.
Actually, just mute yourself. Will be cool.
I'm gonna mute myself. You guys have fun. PJ Darling. You know what? Anytime I argue with women, my life gets fucking destroyed. So I'm just gonna mute this space. You know what? This space is your guys's, because
PJ.
You guys, Amy is right. So there we go. It's on record now.
What happens? So for me, I no longer have any AMC, but I got a postcard, so I think I'm included in the settlement. What happens to those shares that I get?
Did your postcard say interrupt Spence every chance you get?
It did, Spence.
What?
No, say that again, Amy. I'm sorry.
So if you're not, what was one of the reasons she didn't approve it was because it wasn't acceptable for APE shareholders. So I think them lifting the release was really all that happened for that. So maybe they're counting your APE as AMC. So if that's the case, then you would just get 1 for every 7.5 of the APE that you have. I think that's part of the stipulation of the settlement, is that it's post conversion and reverse split. So, which mean you have to hold it through.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
And we got
Spence, if you would like to speak now, please do so.
Hey, we got Brian and Jake, man. If Brian, if you have any questions, Jake, please go ahead, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on. My question is, if they're going to convert at the same price, what would be the reason to hold AMC at the moment?
There isn't one.
And if there is, I'd love to hear someone.
Because AMC, AMC is absorbing APE, so they're the disadvantaged player, right? So
that sounded kind of dirty.
I can't think of even one reason, unless you want to be in this long term and ride it through the reverse split. I can't
What are your thoughts? Do you have any feeling on what you think the conversion will be, price wise?
I think they'll meet. Just simply because you don't know in the days coming, right? What people are going to do. So I mean, I put it somewhere between 285 and 3. Is where they're going to meet, where the arbitrage ends anyway.
So I should find more APE.
Brian, can I say something?
So what's your goal, Brian? Are you planning to hold this through conversion? Because, I mean, the only reason to buy APE right now is to take advantage of what's left of the arbitrage.
Buying APE now is probably, buying APE now is, in my opinion,
between the two prices.
In my
opinion, at 390.
Can anybody hear me?
232. So. Yeah, $5.
Yeah, we can hear you, Spencer.
Can Amy hear me?
We hear you. We're just not listening.
Amy, can you hear him?
No, I cannot hear Spencer.
I thought so.
You might have to drop down and bring Amy back. Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought she was just.
You know what? I'm gonna make Amy my fucking co-host just to.
Hey, Spence. I just want to say something to Brian. Brian, look. Listen to whoever you want to, okay? But, do what's best for you, man. And I don't know.
Sugar, hold on. Did you make me co-host this?
I made you. Okay. Why do you always block people? If you block people, you're not going to get your 15 million impressions and you're not going to make money on X.
Yeah, make her a speaker, man.
All right. Well, I was admitting my wrong and showing respect.
You just lost half the space. Everyone got.
Oh my God.
If I would have AMC at $12 and I have let's say I have 2,000 AMC and I have 8,000 APE for $3. I'm just going to see how it all pans out if my AMC, because I have a lot of APE, because nobody can tell you exactly what price it will end up being after conversion.
So real quick.
Hold it. If you hold it through conversion and reverse split, you're at the same mercy as if you just hold AMC. Like you cannot hold it through. Like the arbitrage is the difference in the price currently. Once it reverts, like if you hold it through, then the next day, like it opens up. Like the conversion and reverse split's going to have behind the scenes. It's going to open up at the reverse split price.
I'll tell you this: if you fix your bag or you're up over 100%, let's say into the conversion, or the conversion opens up, you hold into the conversion and it opens up and you're up 100. If you're over 100% and you don't sell, that's stupid. And I will just say right now, buying APE now after it just ran 30% to the upside, you missed the move. But here's the thing. There's always another play. Unlock your brain. That AMC is the only thing that exists. Because I tweeted a week ago that UPST was going to the downside. It went down 45% in 4 days. And you could have made a fortune off that. And I'm not telling you to follow my stock moves. That's not it. Right?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm having a bunch of people already tell me that I shouldn't be shorting Meta again. And guess who told me not to short Meta 2 years ago in a space call when it was at $340? Jim Cramer's fucking analysts. That's what I'm saying, man. It's like the industry wants you to be brain locked into certain plays for the rest of your life so that you don't make good decisions. There's other plays out there. I'm going to tell you right now what I'm going to do with when I sell all my APE. I'm going to take 35% of all my APE profit and I'm going to wait 3 months, maybe less, and I am going to load the boat on Overstock. Overstock is going to rip faces off in the next 5 years. And I think also, too, more volatile because you have to watch it in case of any incidents. Virgin Galactic is at $3.10 a share right now, and they just had their first successful commercialized space flight, and nobody's talking about it.
I don't like airlines and rockets. You're one freaking blow up.
You've got to set that's a limit sell order.
Before you get into your we talk about rockets, let's make this very clear for everybody in the space. Like, the arbitrage opportunity is in front of you right now. Okay, like once this converts and reverse splits, you are right back in AMC at the reverse split, at the mercy of the reverse split.
100%.
If you don't get out, if you don't close your position before it happens,
You're gambling.
you just might as well have been holding AMC this whole time. The same thing is going to happen to APE. That's going to happen to AMC. They
And
are
also,
to one.
look at stocks that have had reverse splits recently. Like, they do not usually go up after. Like,
Well,
you know,
they actually.
It's not even that it's not going to go up because of the reverse split. It's not going to go up because he's going to dilute the fuck out of it.
They actually it's gonna go up a little bit, but then it's gonna crash. It is every stock that's been reverse split recently in the meme stock market has went up 20%, and then it just fucking nosedived.
Well, and understand that they will use APE to cover their shorts in AMC. You will see the short interest on AMC plummet.
Remember when I tweeted 2 years ago, I said you can cover shorts with like securities. A like security. APE is a like security of AMC.
It's the same security as AMC.
Exactly. That's why they're doing exactly what you. Damn it! Now me and Amy are all fucking agreeing, and now I just.
Before you guys get married, let me ask you both a question.
Amy's already married.
Amy don't want.
I am not.
Amy, you better.
Amy, you're not married? What? The so am I. I'm just saying, like, ex date. Sugar, hey, yo, Elo, tell Sugar to fucking mind his business, dude.
You don't even try with Amy, man.
No, I'm just having fun. I'm a little buzzed. Amy, I'm mass respect, man.
I was saying for a quick trade, like if they have to convert, like what do you want to buy APE because it still has room to go to reach the price of the AMC?
Yes.
For a quick trade.
You have to be careful though, because there could be something else that comes out tomorrow. Like literally, there could.
No, Spence, it's over.
No, there literally could be another lawsuit. I'm just saying that the worst case scenario is that some random lawsuit comes out tomorrow that nobody has. Like, there's things that we even don't know, Amy, and I know we're the most smartest people in the world, but if I'm being careful still, even with my position, because if something comes out tomorrow where something leaks about Adam Aaron talking to Allegheny, then this could upset the whole thing. So I highly doubtful. I give it a 1% chance, maybe less, but also at the same time, the stock can drop just as quick as it rose today. So just be careful of that. Me personally, if I saw this, I would not be buying anything with AMC and APE right now. Hey, dog.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole.
No, it's already up 30% on exactly what I said it was going to do.
I started selling.
Yeah, be very careful. If you think you're going to flip your AMC position right now into APE, you may get another 10, 20%. But be very careful because the gap's already been almost closed. It's just now it's all up in the air. Now it's at the mercy of the markets and how they're going to value it.
So let me ask my question to Amy now. Can I ask my question? So Amy, where do you see after conversion this going? Like after the conversion AMC, do you see it going to $80, $90, $100 even?
Absolutely not. Because I mean, you think about what he's going to do, right? He's going to have a fresh batch of shares to offer. Like when you're making offerings like that, you're not like they're not buying them at a fucking premium, right? Like they're going to get them. Like it has to be a deal for whoever's taking the offering or whatever they're doing, right? He's not going to be like, hey, we're reverse splitting and it's $28.50, but hey, you want to buy some for $50? Like that's not going to happen. So they're going to want it for. I mean, go back and look at any offering, right? If they're doing it at the market, because I believe he has an ATM, right? So he can do it whenever. But the price has to be attractive. And I don't know what that price is going to be, but it isn't $80 and $90. I can promise you that. On everything that I am, I can promise you that.
Now, if it does pop and run, he won't sell anything until it's back to $30. at least.
So
Well, I
here-
think it's that you won't get anyone to buy it. Like,
So
who's
here's the-
going to buy a flailing movie stock and, movie theater stock at a premium? Nope.
Right.
No
Maybe
buy.
no buying
Well,
pressure.
and here's the lesson in that. If you're finally up, this right now, if you're up 30, 40, 50, 100%, whatever,
Get the fuck out.
take your fucking money and go make another play because, like I said, I'm in Meta to the downside because I know the market's coming back down. Meta has 2 gaps down on its daily chart. Meta's going to dictate what happens to the rest of the macro environment unless Mark Zuckerberg comes out and does something crazy, like fight Elon Musk in the I'm going to Italy. I swear to God, I'm going to Italy to watch the fight.
Well, look,
But
So I have a
Hold on,
follow-up question.
Hold on, I want to answer Brian's question real quick. Look, at this point, with the prices converging, you're picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. So it's up to you if you want to risk trading it for a couple of pennies. Like, I don't know how much you have or how much you're planning to buy. Like, that's going to be on you. But I mean, the move would have been to buy it at $1.50 and sell it at, what is it, at $2.35 or something like that, right? Like, that's the arbitrage. So at this point, with this kind of blooming, you're really just kind of picking up pennies. So that's going to be up to you.
So you think the squeeze is out of play at this point?
Absolutely.
so I think
I mean, more shorts are going to pile in at this point.
I think there's still a potential. I'm gonna put this thesis. I've said it a million times, but because so many people are short AMC, they don't want to cover
They're
AM.
not anymore. They're not anymore, Spence.
Yes, yes.
He let them all off the hook.
Oh my
when
God, Amy, this is why I will never get married.
That's fine, but it's not
Let me finish my thesis and then you can respond. Is that cool?
Yes.
Love you. So there's still a bunch of people short AMC. They can't cover until they have an incentive to do so, which is the arbitrage. Now, what's going to happen is Adam Aaron is going to announce the perfect conversion day. And what they're going to do is they're going to cover their AMC shorts directly before after hours into dark pools, and they're going to unload it in an organized manner. This will be the first time AMC runs without a bunch of fucking halts because they're not going to be squeezed anymore. Because 1, they're covering in the money. 2, their APE converted is going long to the upside, which is why Goldman Sachs gave them a $175 price target, which is bullshit, total bullshit. But what's going to happen is as AMC starts to run post-conversion, Adam Aaron will announce the public offering directly at the same time that these funds start to unload their shares. So $70 potentially, absolutely. Goldman's given 175. I say take 30% off of that, and that's where potentially afterwards you sell. Because why they want AMC to run post conversion is because their APE converted is going long to the upside, so they're going to make a bunch of profit, sell, reshort the stock. But Adam Aaron is going to pay them out a premium on the bonds that were callable July 28th. The bondholders that are short AMC are going to win arbitrage, get paid out a premium. They're going to sell their APE at the top, and Adam Aaron is going to raise cash, which is going to allow him to pay said bondholders off. And then after that happens, whoever institutionally is left holding stock, and Adam Aaron has done this in the past in 2019, if he raises $3 to $4 billion off of this, or 2 to 5, or whatever 1 to 3, whatever, Adam Aaron is immediately going to issue a special dividend cash to the people still holding AMC, because it's going to all be institutions at the end after his cash raise when the bondholders are paid out and AMC comes back down to reasonable prices. He'll pay out those people a special cash dividend. That's my opinion. All right, go ahead, Amy.
I mean, it sounds like a lovely story, Spence, but that's just not what's going to happen. I mean,
That's exactly what's going to happen.
it's not. A lot of shorts covered when he put out his little doom letter. I mean, the volatility was over 1,000%, and now it's maybe around 200, which is totally, something to expect with a stock that's going to convert and reverse split. But and then that's why you're seeing the short interest come. I mean, you've already seen it come down. It's going to keep coming down, and it's going to plummet when it converts and reverse split.
Short interest came down to 10% because they admitted that they combined the APE and AMC floats yesterday to 10%. They knew, someone always knows, they knew this conversion was going to happen, but hopefully Marc just joined the call, and he's more than likely, I think he's going to agree with you, Amy, and scold me. So maybe if Marc wants to add in, which it's an honor to have you up here, big guy.
What did Amy say?
Wait, hold on.
Amy basically said exactly what you said. When this converts, they're going to reshort the fucking piss out of it.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to short this thing into the ground. And rightly so, because, look who runs this thing. I mean, in this day and age, when I free up and I'm really busy, I think this
we're losing. You're breaking up real bad, Marc.
Are you guys there?
Yeah, I'm here. Marc's breaking up super. I don't know if he's in Montana or what, but
I definitely agree, though. This is like a short seller's wet dream after that reverse split, though. I mean, a lot more meat on the bone.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, if you watched Mullins, it'd be a good example because after they did their reverse split, they diluted the hell of that stock. So you're gonna see the same kind of action happen. I mean, I'm not saying Mullen and ANC are the same, but it's the same aspect, right? You got mass dilution coming to keep the company alive with shorts all over it. So, and another thing I was going to bring up, Amy has brought up a couple times. I don't know if people are getting exactly what she's saying when the actual conversion happens. It's going to happen at night. It's all going to go through at night.
Yep.
And it's going to happen overnight. The market makers are going to put a price on it, and you're totally out of control to watch it. So that's why she's saying be careful. And like, I'm in the West Coast, so I can't start trading until 7 a.m. Eastern time. So you don't want to be in that world where you can't do anything, right? So that's where she's saying be careful. It's not like they're going to convert it in the middle of the day. It happens overnight, and the market maker places the price on the conversion.
I've said that for months, multiple times, Twitter, YouTube, everything.
Get that. I don't think people understand that sometimes. They think it's just going to kind of happen, and you'll be able to be involved. You're going to be in the dark for a while, and that's why that's where you don't want to be.
They're going to cover what's going to happen is they're going to go into the conversion in after hours, right before close and after hours. They're going to go into these dark pools. They're going to start unloading, covering, and flipping their positions over, and it's going to unload very on a certain methodology. They're going to unload everything over the weekend when retail can't do anything, and we're going to see the results of it the next business day. So
I believe Cosmos was over a weekend, wasn't it? If I remember right.
Yes, and it ran afterwards, immediately ran afterwards, and then it crashed. So
that was a total. I still kick myself. I only bought 100 shares. Remember, it was all screwed up. I bought 100 shares at 25 cents post conversion.
I was deep in it.
Schwab never caught it. I just did to see what happened, and then it got shut down, and it's still in my account. Or I sold it finally, but it's like I should have went all in on it. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Marc's back.
Yeah, something was up with my connection. I think the project, other than Adam Aaron one day, everyone should go after his sorry ass, is everyone should go after Bigums and Trey and that whole crowd and see who paid those guys and how much they actually made. I'd love to know how much those guys made trading against everybody. And I'd love to know if Adam Aaron or who actually paid those guys to play. Because that's the Bigums and Trey and that whole crew. They're the biggest fraud on the market, and they cost people cumulatively billions of dollars. That's the story here.
Yeah, man, the whole Phase 6 thing, he was going on for that for months. saying it was a guarantee pretty much with the whole phase 6. It's ridiculous, man.
We're on phase 420 now.
No, I mean the guy Biggums is what? He works at Domino's Pizza cutting the pepperoni. Is that it? I mean, it's just
supposedly.
Yeah, the big talker. He had it all figured out. And the pathetic thing is, those guys killed my T0 idea before they even heard it. That's the amazing part of the whole. That's the whole part of the deal. That's a shame.
It's that would have been one of the biggest market events in the history.
If anyone, Mark, anyone who has been right for the last 2 years, I have seen, that's you.
3.
And the stock was at $43. Imagine when the T0 idea, the stock was at $43. And there were short sellers literally used to come in our calls and say, if Adam even says that, I'm thinking about it, that they will cover their shorts and they will go long on AMC.
APE is like the Dollar General version of the T0 plan. That was T0 would have put people in their place. Adam Aaron took it, watered it down massively to a Dollar General version so that his big buddy, allegedly, big buddy market people and his banks could win and the bondholders could win. Mark was right.
The convert guys would have been at the other side of a rope. They would have been finished.
Spence.
Absolutely done.
Spence, can you tell Mark I said hi since he blocked my...
I unblocked your sorry ass.
Blocked my ass, boy.
I thought he owed you some rum punch. I wasn't even getting none.
You do owe me some rum punch.
I'll give you a rum punch. I'll break the bottle over your fucking head.
Mark has me so scared now. I'm afraid what posts I like.
Exactly. If someone likes a hater's post, you get blocked and you never come back.
Well, I have to research who they are before I like their post because I don't want to mark block. It was hard enough to get off of your block.
Exactly. Sugar will supply the rum, and I'll make you the rum punch. In the first bottle, I'll break over your head. Then we're good.
Mark, I have a question. Somebody asked me. So people are still don't know what to do, and they were listening to all the people, and they're still confused. Why? Somebody asked me a question to ask you. They had APE and AMC. Now they are seeing how the conversion play. What should they do? Should they just hold and go through the conversion and see if the shorts cover and what happens? That they might get a chance to not lose it all.
I don't know. It's okay. What they should do is everyone should cumulatively figure out their losses and create a Get some badass lawyer who's also lost in this thing and go after Biggums and Trey. Go after Biggums and Trey and try to get discovery to see if Adam Aaron and the bond guys were in on it.
Would you guide people if people like get all the money and everything? I know you have always helped people. I have seen it.
Yeah, the problem with me in this name, Sugar, is a year ago. And Spence knows a year ago, I tried and tried and tried. I mean, I tried to the end of the world and back. And it was just, I was met with such vitriol. I just said, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the stock, I think my last spaces I got on with you or whoever, Tara maybe, stock was 27, something like that.
Yep.
And I just said, get the fuck out.
34.
That was a year ago.
Exactly. I just said this is going to be bad. Bad. And I begged everyone to get out. And again, I was met with so much hate. I just said, I've done what I can do here. I've tried, done what I can do.
What happened?
This Adam Aaron is probably one of the worst of the worst. I mean, he's not only a sociopath. I mean, he just doesn't care. And the crazy thing is, everyone should figure out after they go after Trey and Biggums and that whole crowd is how much has Adam Aaron actually made between selling a stock, salary and the whole thing. I'll bet you he's well north of 150 million bucks he's made on the backs
And
of
he's
everybody.
still got
And
freaking.
don't forget his kids too. He sent them a bunch of shares before this all happened.
And he still can't get a suit without wrinkles in it. It's just.
That's by design, man. I'm telling you, guys. Like Mark said, he's a sociopath. That's all done by design.
Well,
Yeah,
look.
I mean, he is the worst of the worst. And the crazy thing is, he also did it on that shit ass mining company too, right?
He led people like a Svengali to HYMC, and and then that CEO went and sported a personally made rocket lapel on her Chanel blazer, and I wanted to.
They sold a coin with his picture and Diane Garrett on it together. They sold that coin with both their pictures on it.
I mean,
For
actionable more.
For $12 more than the price of silver is actually going for.
Well, I think that where you want to get it where you have just a layup, and I think the layup again gets back to Trey and Bigham's.
Yep.
I think it's as simple as that. If you can find out if these guys were compensated and how much they made, and get to their emails of how this thing went down, because I mean, seriously, how do you find Bigham's at a Domino's Pizza in Fargo, North Dakota, where he's making all these claims when he's not even the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, and he was talking all this trash at me and all this bullshit, all these guys. So I mean, I think that's where you go. I
was just gonna say, if you Google Trey Collins' name, which is Trey Trades, I don't know how accurate they are, but his net worth went up a ton. If you look at his net worth, real name's Trey Collins.
So I just want to know what that conversation was like between Adam Aaron and Diane Garrett about that freaking lapel pin. What did he say to her? Hey, man, these idiots, if you do this, we'll be subliminally advertising to the apes a MOAS. So put that pin on, and then they'll buy HYMC. I mean, did it go down like that?
Yep.
That's exactly what he said.
It might have shit.
The only thing I'm going to say is if Adam Aaron does raise $2 to $3 billion in cash in the next couple days, this is just me thinking crooked, right? If he goes in and buys another 10% of Highcroft off the bat, off the cash raise, I would not be surprised. So
the second he tries to raise money or do whatever, I mean, the stock will get absolutely destroyed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just, he's not going to raise $2 billion. He'll be lucky if he raises a Butterfinger bar and a Big Mac.
I still think with the writer strike and everything going on, their cash position, 2024, they're probably BK.
Without the cash raise, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just to me, it's a sad deal. I mean, and the crazy thing is, gang, I was never short the stock. I was never short this thing. It was an absolute laydown. I said I wasn't short it, and I was never short it. I just tried to get people out.
I was just saying that early, that if you would have been short this stock, you could have easily made $20-30 million. But you rather chose.
Yeah.
If what happened in SBNY would have happened in AMC, we would all be on a beach in, well, not Maui right now. It's on fire, unfortunately. But if what happened in SBNY, the consolidation, execution, Mark got Vlad fucking Tenef to bend over and just kneel, who bent the knee, changed markets that day. And if people would have listened to Mark in AMC with T0, this would be a much different story right now.
100%.
Yeah, if I would have listened to Mark back then when APE came out, when it was at 27, because I had 5-figure shares, and Mark blocked me because I was a jackass back then. So he did let me back into his good graces. But in hindsight, what it has, it's built a trust of certain people I have now, and I trust their opinions, and I research what they think and they bring out. So I mean, you have to look long term. I mean, I think, like I said earlier, everyone's just so hyped up from December 2020, or was it 2021 when GameStop and all that ripped that one day? Everyone thinks they can make 1,000% in one day if they pick the right stock, which is just asinine. So hopefully people learn, and people learn people that they can trust more than others, on social media here. And again, you always do your own research. Don't blindly trust, but Mark said some awesome stocks out there, and I've made money in all of them. And I went and visited one. I went and visited Innovix just to see what it was like myself, and that place is buzzing. It's pretty cool. So I mean, you have to look at the bright side of everything. I mean, I left a shit ton of profit on the table, but hey, that's investing, right? Sometimes you screw up, but you got to learn from it. So hopefully that's what comes out of all this.
T-Dog, when I talked to Mark, I bought ENVX at $8.40. I'm sitting at $200,000 just in ENVX. And I am not even like you. Some of these people are so smart and all that stuff. But, like Mark always says, pay attention. Pay attention and, watch people. Like, look at their record. And, people, there is money to be made. But if you're not paying attention, if you're still busy in cloud chasing for likes and retweets and all that bullshit, then you have not learned anything. You're still doing the same thing you were doing 2-3 years ago, man.
Yeah, and if you don't know Mark, Google him. Mark's the real deal, man. He's been around for a long time. He's not just some guy that popped up during this meme craze. He's the real deal. Google him and look him up. And like I said, I just hope everyone learns from this. I mean, listening and looking at tweets going on, I don't know if people have learned from it yet. But, I mean, Amy, Mark, if you can hear me, you have Amy blocked.
I've had her blocked about 8 or 9 times. I'll unblock her. She gets on my nerves.
It's because you guys are alike, I think.
No, she gets on my nerves. I think I blocked her during that SBNY thing. She was talking smack, and I just had to. I have nothing against her. I unblocked her, but sometimes I can't take it. I once blocked Spence. He was getting all squirrely and lippy with me.
That's when you blocked me.
Did he give you the CAG yet or no?
I knew it was fucking coming.
No, I still don't have. Look, I think we all get together. I think we'll make the rum punch. We'll have the keg. I'll break a bottle over Elohim's head. I think what we should have Elohim knock on Trey's door and Bigham's door. I think those guys wouldn't know what hit them.
That's just he'll bring the Bud Light.
Oh, gee, no, look, man, I made good money off of shorting Bud Light over Memorial Weekend, man. That beer's garbage to begin with. But I will say this. I did tell Mark that I am on his schedule. Anytime he wants his keg, I will hop in the Polaris and I will bring it to California, or we can set up a big event in Albuquerque. Everybody's invited. Whatever you guys want to do, it's Mark's choice.
We'll come to Albuquerque and we'll all be on a cop show.
Oh, that's not as bad.
That's the only thing Albuquerque is known for. What you got to do when they come for you.
Not my neighborhood.
I go there for work, Spence. Don't try to spice it up.
Not my neighborhood. My neighborhood's straight. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
If I ever get to New Mexico, we'll do it. But
right on.
But sadly, this is just sad and pathetic. It really is. It all could have been prevented, but the money going from the average person's hands to these bond guys who cooked up this deal with Adam Aaron is just bad.
When I read these are plunderers, the first thing I thought about was Adam Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's tied into this Apollo gang, and then they're just the absolute worst of the worst. And the crazy thing is, everyone's hate should be toward those kind of guys, and not the people who try to speak truth to power. And again, I make plenty of mistakes. I got plenty of things I've done wrong. I got plenty of things where I lose money in, but it's not because I sure didn't try to get it right. Or try to help people out. But God damn. This is
We did. To a lot of people like me, Lurkin, and a lot of people in this room, you did help. And if it would not have been for you, I can say this, if it would not have been for you, Mark, I would not have been even able to buy my liquor store today because I had to sell a lot more my ENVX, but I am where I am today. I have my liquor store today. It's part of, because you played a very big part in that. I still remember when I talked to you and you guided me. Nobody has guided me that in the way you have did. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. So it's not like some people, they are never here to learn, and it's just sad, but I am very thankful. I'm very thankful, and I have nothing but love and gratitude for you.
I look forward to meeting you clowns one day, and we'll all have a big laugh.
We will.
Well, I'm worried this Elohim though breaks me in half.
Yeah, you better talk about it. You better talk about it.
That's his fake picture. He's a fake 5'6" guy. He's not even 6'6" like he said.
Ain't nobody 5'6".
I don't think so. He's probably 6'10", 280, and probably bent the crowbar over his head.
I'm waiting to meet you, Mark. I'm waiting to meet you.
Well, don't worry. If you guys come to Albuquerque, then you can meet. Who's talking right now? Hold on. If you guys all meet us in Albuquerque, then you can meet me and Tara on the rooftop downtown Albuquerque for the sunset. Elo's jealous. I tried to get her in here. She's busy.
You guys never get in that, so just lay it off.
Tara's busy being a rock star.
She's way above your league now, boy. She talking to Elon Musk. Who are you talking to? So let's just not even go there. But like Mark said, once this shit show ends, let's focus. If you really want people to held accountable who stole your money, focus on Adam Aaron and all these grifting and cloud chasing YouTubers, influencers, all these people. If you really want people, if you really want justice after 3 years of all this pain, misery, losing money, make sure people held these people accountable. Otherwise, they will keep on doing this thing to somebody else, some other stuff they will go and do.
That's exactly right. That's the moral of the story is to figure out who recruited Bigums or whatever his real name is, and who recruited Trey, because these guys are all zeros. They're all nothings. Figure out who recruited them, who gave them the script, and how that whole network worked, and who got in, and who dumped on everybody. And Adam Aaron clearly was in on it. He's clearly in on it.
Yeah, it was his son that alerted him to what was going on AMC. On Twitter and YouTube. So I'm sure his kid reached out to Trey. I don't have a doubt in my mind about that.
Hey, we got Jake up with his hand. Jake, you got a question, brother? Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay, though?
Yeah, man.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. There's some people in here I can't hear. I know it gets glitchy, but I'm one of those weird situations where I was in very early with AMC. And don't come after me because I'm 100% about changing my mind about things. So just hear my whole thing here and still call.
Man, our space is getting shorted or something.
Spence, you need to stop. Lay off that Bud Light. Jake, go ahead, brother.
God damn, Sugar.
But don't come after me until you hear my whole stupid story about this, because I'm 100% about changing my mind, and I always will. But I agree with many of the things that were said here about not following the hype, because I did that, and I'm sure many other people did, until it wasn't hype anymore, and until some people started to grow a little impatient with how things were not progressing. in the way that we wanted it to or needed it to. And that's when I stopped and I started to ask questions. I was in on this. I think my DCA on AMC is like less. It's like under $8. But I had a lot of it, and APE came with ownership of that if you were in at a certain time. So I've gotten some of that for free. But I started listening because I started not liking the results of things. And so what I did is I shut off all the hype and I started listening. And then I heard about this guy named Marc who was talking about an alternative opinion about AMC. And I said, maybe this guy can change my mind and my perspective about this because I'm looking for answers that I'm not getting. And I started to listen, and I started to listen a little more. And it started to make sense, and it kind of clicked. And I said, I'm wrong here. And a lot of people are wrong here. And in order for you to fix, what's happened to our bags, we've got to admit that we're wrong, and we've got to figure out how to fix it. So I started to listen more to what Marc had to say. I listened about ENVX. I got in there at like $9, and I'm glad that I did. And that was from just listening and shutting off the hype and shutting off people that have been mentioned here. And it's been correct. I was wrong on 3 important moves, and I listened to other people on 3 important moves, and I decided to listen to that, and I made those moves according to what I heard, and they have been correct. Spence, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. And because of those people who were correct over a certain amount of time, I said, I'm going to shut off all this. I'm going to start to listen to these guys. And when the idea came about with this reverse split and fixing your bag, I've kind of done just that. I basically took like 2/3 of what I had with AMC, and I sold it at a loss, but it wasn't a huge loss, but it was enough that I could turn and flip it into APE. And I wanted to turn around and at least recoup some of my losses. I'm not a bag holder. I don't have it like that, but I hope one day that I will. But I think I fully will in time by listening to the right people. For those of you who are in here and kind of at my non-existent level of this, listen to Marc, listen to Spence, Amy. I just met you. But I like what you have to say, and I'm interested in hearing a lot more, so I hope that you come in here with a lot more information. I'm going to stop taking up this space, but I'm really glad that I'm getting my bag fixed, and I'm going to take care of this. I know I'm going to lose a little bit, but overall, I feel a lot better about my situation.
As long as you learn.
The energy in here is very refreshing. I haven't joined or been a part of any call in years. I've been kind of tuned out doing my own entrepreneurial stuff, but I just wanted to say I'm glad to see everybody's spirits are still up. And Spence, glad you're hosting this. Marc, man, it's been ages. I'm glad you're doing good too. Crazy times that to the people out there that questioned Adam Aaron, in a I guess in an ancillary way, but Marc had been the cynic that everybody claimed was so off in so many places, and his plan was apparently so off with T0. Yet it's not even about that in a direct way. Marc was right in his cynicism about Adam Aaron from the fucking very beginning, just intuitively. It doesn't even, listen, I know business and I know that world. I don't know the markets that well until, I was forced to go through this as a thought exercise by being a part of it. But I will say this. It doesn't require any business acumen or knowledge of the market to be able to quickly see, as Marc said, that there's sociopathy gleaming out of the man's eyes. The behavior that he exhibits and the patterns that he's been a part of are in the world of psychology outside of music is the world that I live in. And he, to me, as a unofficial medical position, he's a sociopath. And it's sad to see, but I'm glad everybody's managed to make it through and just wanted to say hi. I only had one quick thought/question. Again, no one knows where this is going to go, and no one definitively knows, where everything's going to end up. But realistically, just looking before and after this conversion takes place, I mean, to the layman, without directly telling anybody what to do, I mean, realistically, where do you see the thing capping out on the top and bottom end of the potential for both AMC and APE, pre and post?
If you don't sell directly at conversion open, you risk going way down. I think it's going to go up because I have a thesis that so far is fit, but because the bondholders, obviously, July 28th, there was a bond that was callable, and that's yielding 37%. So if they get paid out on that, they're going to get a massive premium, right? So the bondholders who are short AMC and long APE would want to see the most conversion potential as possible on their new AMC shares so Adam Aaron can raise cash to pay them out. Now, I could be completely wrong, but
I heard you go run through this, and Spence, it sounds, listen, man, no one knows for sure, but it checks out in terms of my logical brain, you know, so we shall see. Mark, what do you think? Just viscerally, you know?
Real quick, if you don't sell at a profit, you risk a loss. So that's my thing.
No, totally, man. You know, who knows? Yeah, I with you. Mark.
I think it's a complete shit show.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to sell. They're going to sell as much. God even knows they can to get as much cash as they can to try to keep themselves afloat. So, what are they going to reverse split this thing? Is that the grand plan?
10-to-1 reverse split into conversion with a CUSIP change.
Usually, when you do, history on reverse splits, these things go down 90% from the reverse split. So.
But more, and I agree. I did the due diligence in that. But isn't it pretty commonplace though for it to have a post conversion run followed by a huge crash?
I look. The markets are so broken.
Totally.
And this thing could be so rigged. Who knows what it does in the short term? But if we're probably going to have a space call a year from now, this thing's probably down 90%.
Yeah, it'll be fucking on the edge of bankruptcy if it hasn't already. The only reason I have any saving grace is because of my entertainment background, in the sense that I'm not viewing this necessarily from a bottom line financials, but I'm looking at it from the AMC's cultural place within the zeitgeist is my favorite word. It's placed within the historical realm of time, space, and significance. And yes, it's having a hard time justifying its existence, but the reality is, at some point, one has to acknowledge that there's no way to actually tangibly replace being in a physical theater. So it's always going to be there to some extent. I mean, we'll get to augmented reality and whatever, but
the thing could be reorganized 30 times, bankrupted. I mean, how many times have these airlines been bankrupt? I mean, people are still flying airlines. But these airlines have been restructured, bankrupt, bailed out. I mean, you're still flying, but people along the way get absolutely destroyed. And the problem here is Adam Aaron robbed from the poor and gave to the rich, and he conspired with common criminals, Ray and Biggums and these other guys.
He's everything that the movement, the end quote movement, was supposedly coming after.
That's the irony of the whole thing. The movement completely backfired because the guy running this company was part of the movement to rob from the poor and give to the rich.
And guess what just happened, guys?
Quickly, that's a framing problem, Mark, is that the underpinning to the entire movement itself was based upon potentially bullshit, just like GME was, which was a self-perpetuated thing. And so it could be simply the case that, like you're saying, the common man was just simply leveraged based upon catching a narrative. It could literally be, this is a hypothesis, so before anybody runs and says I'm saying anything to be fact, this is just some guy saying something. But the reality is, it could be simply the case, Mr. Adam Aaron's son, here's blah, 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 blah. Here's about Mr. You Know Who on YouTube, and it just becomes this perfect storm opportunity. He sees the light bulb go off. Ding, 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 ding.
Here-
Sociopathic opportunity waiting. Here's our chance.
Here's what's funny, and you know what just happened? Robinhood was just basically the lawsuits against Robinhood for all the halts on January 27th back in 2021. They just won that case. Robinhood's not guilty of anything on that. The only person that ever got Robinhood to do anything fucking right was Marc, and that was with SBNY. I'll tell you what, I lost whatever hair I have fucking left on my head because of that one. Because I was answering, I don't know how Marc does it. I was answering hundreds of DMs, and Marc went out of his way to get a law firm ready to go to collect data and do discovery and everything, because he knew that SBNY was a shit company. It belonged at zero, and everybody that was holding options contracts got absolutely screwed by the market. And the day that Marc came out, Cat Striker is an absolutely worthless person. The day Marc came out and said, Ken Griffin can afford to lose this one and play the game correctly, we fucking won.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything for sure, but I got to say, I'm typically the pushback against the ideology of which my dad lives by, which is pretty cynical. And, you know, and I think I'm a cynic in the sense that I question everything, but I live as if the worst could happen, but I hope for the best. So it kind of prevents me from getting too jaded, you know. And my dad just assumes the worst is going to happen and there's no hope and we're fucked. But in this case, man, he called the Adam Aaron thing right from the beginning. He said, "No, that guy's bad, fucking dude."
You know what? Just to just to address your question with the whole like perfect time to sell, like I would have no amount of money in my account that I'm comfortable with. Like, I'm not going to make I really don't even think I'm waiting until after the reverse split, because no one really knows what could happen. Like, I'm going to take my profits while they're there, in my opinion, you know?
And I just spent, can I say
No, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Look, guys, you know, Marc said from day one, and once this shit show ends, you have to decide what to do. If you will let these low-life grifting fucks steal your money, get rich on the backs of you guys who saved the company and everything, and just walk away without being held accountable, it's nobody's fault but your own.
That's true. At some point, the accountability has to lie with yourself.
Can I finish, man?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, you know, once this shit show ends, and, you know, whatever happens, I hope not everybody loses their ass. But once all this is done, make sure, you know, you guys organize retail. If you can make AMC from bankruptcy and make Adam Aaron rich and the best CEO and whatever, make sure you hold these people accountable. Bigums, straight trades, cat strikers, boss blunts, APE radio people, everyone who used the retail movement to enrich themselves and then throw them like a piece of garbage that don't mean nothing. If you will not hold these people accountable, they will do it to somebody else. And when Marc is saying follow the money, follow what these people were getting paid, there are emails, there are transaction accounts, there has to be a trail. If you follow that, you can find out exactly how this was all planned. If you don't do that, then you can just cry on the space calls and, you know, go on to retweet all you want. It's not worth it, man.
No, I mean, no, it's true. And at some point, the responsibility lies if you're aware of a potential wronghood and if you don't act on it. You know, it's the famous quote. But the one thing I will push back on, I am totally on board with the narrative of who Adam Aaron is. It's clear at this point. I'm on board with a lot of the YouTubers being a part of it and complicit, and we'll see. The only thing I will say is the amount of time that I did spend personally talking with Trey really has. And listen, I'm not naive. I see what can be done, and I see it. I still have a really hard time believing, for a whole multitude of reasons, that Trey would have done it. I really do.
Dude, Trey was asking people to buy puts on the same stock he was asking people to buy and hold
Yeah.
for 2 years.
He.
I got that.
Man.
I got
that's it. Then just call it like it is.
That's-
like
that's-
you are. People are still here fucking worried about. Oh, Trey has made $10 fucking million. What have you made?
That's not even the problem. Trey said for years he was going to lose his eye on YouTube as he was going through medical output through the U.S. military. And dude, I literally hold on. Let's just Mark talk.
The trick with all these clowns was when I came with my T0 idea, no one could put a hole in the T0 idea. All they could do was just try to shoot the messenger, which was me. Right? To this day, no one's come with a reason why the T0 idea wouldn't have worked. It was always that I was what did Trey say? Something short seller?
Predatory short seller.
A predatory short seller.
Right. I was a predatory short seller. No one once, including Adam Aaron, could come up with a reason why the idea was bad. Not one thing. Because it would have just absolutely wiped out their game, and it would have returned money from the rich to the poor. And by making sure it didn't happen, they had to go and suck the money out of everybody.
And it would have
they used these people who posed as all these experts, Trey, Bigums, Boss Blunts, all these guys. They used them to suck everyone's money away. Striker.
Yes, but Mark, doesn't it strike you though that someone like Adam Aaron is clear? Of course, we know why he would be opposed to it. Obviously, at this point,
His bondholders told him not to do it.
I'm not defending Trey here, by the way. I haven't talked to him in months and months and months, if not over 2 years at this fucking point.
Dude, you can like a person that I don't like, and me and you can still talk civilly. You know what I'm saying? So.
To be honest, he wasn't even very interpersonal or knew how to fucking talk as a human being. So not particularly. All I'm getting at is, hold on, let me just say one thing. I'm getting to the point of that. Isn't it likely, though, the case that he was opposed to it not because of a nefarious reason, but because he's just not that bright and he's paranoid and he's like,
then why? If you're not bright and you're paranoid, then why say anything? Just
because he's got a huge ego. He's a guy out there on his. I see him on Snapchat.
It's because he's making money.
And that's even worse. See, the top is Adam Aaron and AMC have no money. But yet he gave how much to HYMC? And what does he know about the gold business?
How much did he give to your charity, Mark? How much did he give to St. Jude?
Kidman. He gave $25 million to Nicole Kidman. Mark, he could have put it in that something else.
I shaved my head, and Mark donated $10,000 to St. Jude specifically to an individual who needed it directly. I'm not talking like just a random St. Jude donation. Mark took the time to go write it to a specific individual's child. And Adam Aaron couldn't even show up.
Well, because Adam Aaron's a fraud. Not only is he a sociopath, like you said, he's not only that. He genuinely, like Mark said, the one line that rings true, he just doesn't care. He's not even capable of it as far as I can see from what...
But where you guys get even with him, if everyone, if there's a legit lawyer out there, right? And I'll eventually find one, but I'm a little busy.
Yeah.
Everyone chips in whatever they want to chip in. You guys can make Adam Aaron, Trey's, Bigums, you can make all these guys' lives just miserable. Just absolutely miserable. Right? Just dragging everything in and trying to find out what exactly happened. Because where Sugar is dead right, he's right a lot, but where he's dead right is unless you take apart the machinery, this will happen again.
Yep.
It'll happen to a different set of people, maybe a year or so from now, but the same game will be played. I mean, I ran this guy Gentile out of the business, who is a scam artist, and he sued me once in California, lost, paid all my fees. Then he sued me again in Puerto Rico, lost, paid all my fees.
It's one of the best
Now the
spaces
Mets are
ever.
after a sorry ass. And unless you dismantle these frauds, mechanics, and machinery, they'll do it again. I mean, instead of it being AMC Bigums, it could be GME Bigums. And I called out that grifter, Ryan, whatever his name is, the GME guy, of what a complete and utter circus act he is. And look what he did to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Hey, man, I'm not a fan of any of these.
Ryan Cohen.
I think we're giving them way too much credit in terms of the nefarious. I think they're all young, ego-driven, want attention, think they know more than they know, and have come to grand narrative conclusions that have been in alignment with some fucking thing, and they happen to get in touch with some person, you know, in fucking Trey's case with Adam Aaron. It bolsters their opinion of their self, and then they run with it. I think that's all it is. It's ego and having.
I think they sold out for money.
No, there's more to it than that, because these guys are nobodies. They're absolute zeros.
You really think? I'm open to whatever you. I'm open to anything. I'm not ruling anything out. I'm just saying that if they had, you know, I said when Trey left and, you know, said he got out of the trade or whatever, you know, I just don't believe in coincidence, nor do the feds. Coincidence and luck in this kind of thing. You know, Sugar's right. Follow the money. Look, I'm just mentally curious what went on, and it is what it is. So, Mark, if you were held to the fire, just as a hypothetical we'll play this is not real people. We'll say there's a person that in an augmented alternative reality is the equivalent of Trey, and there's an equivalent of Adam Aaron. Just saying all this caveat protection here. What percentage likelihood would you put on if you had to go land on something that there was calculated nefarious coordination between someone like a Trey and an Adam Aaron with money exchanged?
You know, in the 90%.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, but let's
Sugar ass
put it this
laughing.
way. We're in a world where suitcases of money don't get exchanged. It could be Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It could be whatever it is.
No, I see your point. Yeah.
Adam Aaron. See, here's the problem with Adam Aaron. I got my emails, and I've never made them public, between Adam Aaron and I.
Oh.
And I can scare, and I have scared the living shit out of Adam Aaron. So this crew knows, you know, because I remember all the hate directed at me. This crew knows what I'm sitting on. and this crew also knows that I just don't wash off with soap. Right, in that. But I'm busy doing good things. I'm doing good things for Overstock, for Enovix, doing bad things for Trupanion. You know, I'm doing constructive things. So I'm not going to waste my time trying to destroy people. I will destroy them, but I'm not going to waste my productive time right now going after these guys.
If your enemy's making mistakes, don't interrupt them.
Exactly. And these guys just are stupid. And again, you know, everyone has a record of what was said. You know, the internet, you can't erase everything. And we'll see what happens. But
I have always questioned his official.
Edward, when Mark speaks, let him finish. I hate when people interrupt, because, you know, you let him finish, then you can speak, man.
It's just where this all comes down, and it's just the opposite of the story. They all robbed the rich through their intermediaries, robbed and skinned the poor to their own benefit, to their own benefit. Because they were all short the stock, long the bonds. And the stock went through the roof, and the bonds went through the floor. And these guys were so leveraged, they all would have been out of business. they all would have been out of business. And then, things started going in place. And now they've had the score of the century, including Antara buying the apes at, what did they buy ape at?
66
cents. Hey, Spence, can you remove Amy as speaker so she can request, please?
T-Dog, Jake, you guys have question or anything you want to say? Chime in, Jake.
Was Mark making was that completed, or was Mark getting ready to make a point?
No, I was just saying, think back of the history of this whole thing. And Trey, when he had Adam Aaron on for the first time, that's when the whole manipulation came from AMC, when that all started. Because a lot of us got into AMC when we sold our game stock for a profit, and then AMC looked like a good opportunity. And then it turned into this whole Moas pump. And I mean, remember that video Trey did? That's when Mark wasn't wearing shorts when he stood, or not Mark, I'm sorry, Mark. Adam
Man, you need to leave this space, dude.
Yeah, well, I've been drinking too. But remember Adam Aaron stood up and wasn't wearing pants. They're all, oh, look, naked short. I mean, that was when you look back on it, pathetic that we fell for that.
I am drinking because I helped some people get their fucking money back out of this today. That's it.
Hey.
I'm telling you, man. I'm so happy today that some people got their money back.
As long as you ain't drinking Bud Light, we all right, man.
God, sugar. You know what,
Yeah.
Mark? I need you. Mark, if you know any people that can take care of sugar, I need to know, man. I'm tired of this.
Sugar, do you have Bud Light in your store? Are you selling Bud Light?
Yeah, I know. I sell most of liquor, man. Nobody's buying. It's in the hood, so people don't drink beer in the hood.
You're selling malt liquor in the paper bag?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right. We're getting a little. I want to ask Mark, because today Sam Bankman was just arrested for tampering with witnesses, which leads back to this entire fucking thing. And Mark was the first person to come out, talk about it for months. Even when he was doing it, he had to come back and bitch slap me and get me back right. And I just wanted to know what Mark thinks about this whole Sam Bankman thing happening today.
Well, I think it's fascinating because the reason I thought he was in custody with the ankle bracelet at his folks' house, I don't think the feds can keep this guy alive in prison.
Ah, that's exactly what AJ knows.
I think the problem is this guy, I don't think he's safe in prison.
Nope.
I mean, I can give a fuck about him. If anyone wants to carve him up, so be it. But I think now, I'm surprised people haven't sort of put one and one together. That his guard goes on a lunch break and that's the end of him, because I think he knows too much stuff.
Well, look what happened to the crypto guy that they found in a fucking suitcase, chopped up in his suitcase. That's exactly why I asked you, is because that's exactly what I was thinking, that if Sam goes to prison.
So, I mean, I hope that, I think the reason the government was kind of pushing, take his internet away, but he doesn't need to go to prison. I think the government's scared to death this guy ends up dead in jail.
Hey, Mark,
Tara's
I have
here.
a question. What do you think? How should we move forward? Looking at our capital markets, I'm having a real hard time swallowing the fact that I loved them for years, and I just always was in awe over Wall Street and the NYSE and the Amex and the NASDAQ, them all. And now I look at it like, ugh, I can't even be bothered. Just show me how to do the crime so I can, profit too. And that makes me sad.
I don't know. It's just the world's broken. The world. I was riding Oscar today with Reyes, and I just said, politics are broken, money's broken, the markets are broken, people are broken. I mean, everything is just a mess.
Is it?
And the funny thing is, it's not that hard to fix. But the problem is the people in power make so much money, they could give a crap about what's right. They just care about making more. And whether it's politics, I mean, the Democrats and the Republicans are both to blame. There should be 100 to 200 on both sides that just need to be put out to pasture.
Yes.
The Fed is a mess. The SEC is a mess. CEOs make. I mean, someone run the calc on how much Adam Aaron has made in the last 5 years between salary and stock. Someone run that calculation on how much this sociopath made running a company into the ground and stealing all the working class people's money, padding Apollo and Apollo's buddies. And it's just, you're right, PJ. It's a mess. It's sad. You speak out, you get persecuted. You don't speak out, you get frustrated. You're right, which is why if you can find a couple things that you can wrap your head around and understand the risk, you take a shot and hopefully you get it right.
Yeah, I've quieted a lot of the noise, and I'm so sad that, it upsets me that, I feel like, when I make a trade, how fast can it go against me? And look, I know that there's always winners and losers, right? That's just the way it is. But it just seems so much like, we win, right? I can't formulate this thought because it's so disturbing to me. Retail wins every day. We don't maybe win billions of dollars, but we support ourselves, right? The people that want to. And I just think that we need to really continue the fight for fairness, because what went down in AMC, I don't know about any other stock, but what I know a lot about other stocks, but the destruction that took place here, and I just think that it's really hard to understand how it all happened. If I were to tell someone how this all went down, nobody would believe me, and that's the most disturbing part.
I've been writing a script for 12 months. I haven't told anybody that yet, not even Mark.
But look, a lot of these calls have been taped. A lot of the record is the record.
Oh, Tara's here.
Huh?
Tara's here.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Oh, now.
My God.
All right, everybody. All right. It's Mark and Tara's. It's Mark and Tara's space call now. Elo, calm down.
The Beatles are back.
Here,
Took a couple out of the grave.
There we go. Look, I muted Elohim's thirsty ass, and it's Tara and Mark's space call now.
How's it going, old girl?
It's going fine. I wanted to come up really quick because PJ always has a way of firing me up on what he says, but it does feel like the stock market and even AMC directly and the way CEO Adam has done everyone so dirty reminds me of a microcosm of the entire system and how we, the little guys, are just always snuffed out by the people at the top. And it's within companies with CEOs and then all the way up the chain and then the government. And then you can go even bigger and go, global with the WEF. Where are these people getting their money from? It's from all of the people at the bottom, and we're at the bottom, and always have been. And I think that, AMC gave us that hope, and we thought it was this opportunity and this chance for someone to actually be on our side and fight for us and fight on our behalf. And so many of us got, a severe slap in the face when things happen the way they did. But it's also a learning lesson for me. That's kind of how I have to look at it, is a learning lesson, and moving forward, not to get my hopes up and what do they say? Don't meet your heroes, especially CEOs of companies.
Well, when I first chatted with you, I said one day you're going to have more followers than me. Now you're the rock star, and we're all bottom of the barrel types. So.
No. That's the difference. I'm not a CEO. And I'm not a globalist. And in my opinion, no matter how many followers you have, we're all equal here. We're all shoulder to shoulder here. We all are human beings fighting for, equal and fair markets, equal and fair opportunities. And I think that, that's the difference between us and CEOs who snub us and won't come on and talk to us and people who act like they're better than everyone else. And, you know, it's a hard fall from the top. That's all I'll say.
Why has Adam Aaron never been on a fucking space call? Wow. Like that, what you and Mark just said, Adam Aaron has never had the courage to come on one single space call.
Well, he will go on the liberal media and talk about,
Aaron
you know, everything.
Charity when you put out the charity challenge.
I shaved my head.
He was too busy retweeting Sal Meme Lord, who's now suspended for harassment.
Thank you till you shave your head. You'd probably look better.
No, I don't. I can't walk around New Mexico with my head shaved. I'm exceedingly white. It's not good. It doesn't work.
He'd be a glowing ball. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I look like an Antifa flunky. It's not. But Adam Aaron, like Mark said, we did this charity challenge with Adam Aaron. And Tara, you remember this. And I was like, okay, let's do St. Jude and I'll shave my head and we'll do this charity challenge because Adam Aaron was talking shit. Mark put his money where his mouth was. And even Tara, oh my God, how much money have we raised for charity with Tara starting the space calls, Mark coming in, donating insane amounts of cash. We did so much good with this whole thing. Let's just say this. I want to say one thing. The whole AMC saga, no matter what happened, we did a lot of fucking good. And I'm like slightly emotional about it right now. And I don't get that way. So I'm going to be.
Little guys had more to show for it, is all. I feel like it would have done better if it didn't all end up funneled into one, you know, guy's pocket. But that's unfortunate. Hindsight's 20/20. But yeah, you guys did amazing stuff. I mean, we all tried. We all tried our best to make something happen.
Tara, you did a ton. Yeah. Terry, you taught me so much about networking and communication and social media. Like I can't even explain it to you. I owe you and Mark tuition. Like seriously. Mark is like bitch slapped me back into reality so many times. And Tara, you've lined me up so many times. And you know the old meme where Mark's the dad, you're the mom, and I'm the little baby. Do I need to repost that and bring up old memories? I will.
No. Please, dear Lord, no. No, but it's so true. Mark comes with life experience, and that's something that a lot of us should find value in because he's already been around and been through the ringer. You know, he's had a lot more experience, and it's not just age. It's because he started at such a young age. And, you know, Mark started with an uphill battle in the first place. He wasn't, you know, handed a silver spoon. He wasn't given any more opportunity than anyone else. If anything, he had less than anyone else. He had teachers telling him he would fail and never succeed in life and all these horrible things because he couldn't focus in class like so many of us. And in reality, he turned a negative into a positive and took that high energy and used it wisely. And look where he's at. He's self-made 100%. So if there's ever anyone you should idolize, it should be someone like that who has pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. I mean, he is a perfect example. If he can do it, you can do it. You know, don't be greedy. Don't be corrupt. Don't be a piece of, you know what? I'm not going to say bad words because I don't want to get in trouble on the new shadow ban policies here. But I think Mark is an amazing person to look up to. And I've had my moments with him, obviously, in frustration and wanting to keep my hopes up about things that honestly, he was kind of that person, like trying to wake me up, like pay attention, look a little deeper, look a little closer. And I wanted to see what I wanted to see. And he helped me, you know, open my eyes and see things for what they really were. And it's not always easy, especially when you're in the thick of it. And especially when you feel like you have people depending on you as this voice of reason or this sort of like support, this pillar or whatever within a community of people, then it's really difficult to break away because you don't want to let people down, because I genuinely care about other human beings. And that was the hardest part for me, was waking up to this madness and then going, how do I break it to people without breaking them down, without feeling like I'm completely just ruining, you know, their plans or their life whatever it may be, like that is a difficult position to be in and not something I ever foresaw myself being a part of. But it is important to look at people like Mark who have that life experience and understanding of how markets work and how CEOs work and how corruption works, and pay attention to what they say.
And yeah, of course, have your guard up. But when somebody clearly is showing the intent that they want to help, don't be so cynical that you're willing to ruin your own chances when someone shows up with good intent. So, Tara, I can't believe the Beatles are back together.
The Beatles are back. You know what I wish? We always used to make fun of Tara for her phone acting up and overheating. She had put it in her freezer. But now it's Mark all the time. He has to drop and reconnect and
This is literally the first space call I've been on in maybe a year. That should say something. I've been waiting to see the, I've been kind of just trying to do my thing, but hearing what came out and seeing the final conclusive, at least I wouldn't call it evidence, but conclusive ending to our journey, in my opinion. It's,
full circle.
It's very full circle. Yes.
Are you back, Mark?
Yeah,
Bro,
I'm back.
Me and Tara will buy you a new phone and some new Bluetooths.
This is what happens when you use an iPhone 4. you don't have the connectivity.
Are you on your BlackBerry, bro?
Wait, didn't iPhone 4 come out when dinosaurs still roamed the earth?
Oh, that's rude. That's rude.
Christopher Nolan literally doesn't own a digital phone. That should say something.
Look,
about
if I look as good as Mark when I look older than Mark right fucking now. I'm not even gonna lie, man.
When you know your moral conscience is clear and you've lived as the vigilante Batman of the stock market your whole life, you're gonna age well.
Oh my God, Mark's Batman and Tarabolla's Catwoman.
Yeah, there it is. I'm something. I'm amazing when I have two arms. But
well, you got a cannon, man. When you got a cannon, it's a whole new world. I mean, come on.
That's true. That's true. But
every time Mark shoots his cannon, a stock gets its wings.
God.
That's a good one. My friend with all the followers. I mean, well done, Tara. I still remember when I told Tara that it's not going to be that long that she has more followers than me. This is when I think she was at 50,000 and I was at like 70,000.
Hey, man, I
keep up doing what.
She's killing it. I mean, listen.
Let him talk. I told you before also, when Mark talks, let him talk, for fuck's sake.
Damn right, Sugar. And I just must say, Terry, you're making me very proud. You're doing really well, and you have a wonderful gig.
Are you saying your Tara stock is paying dividends, Mark? Is that what you're telling me? Your stock in me?
It is.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's not start this because everybody says I'm paid by Mark.
No, wait a minute. But this gets it back to reality. If Tara would have tokenized herself when I first met her, if she would have had a stock, if she would have had a token for T0, let's say it started out at 50 cents, the thing would be $10-12 by now.
Tara token? Elo would be buying that shit like crazy.
Well, that's true. Break up all the rum punch over his head. How about these guys getting after? How about these two getting after me when I said Adam Aaron wears a wig, and they were giving me shit about wigs. I mean, he does wear a fucking wig, and look at him. He's a complete fucking shill. And that Bigums looks like he wears a wig too.
Mark just called Adam Aaron a shill out of 3 years of AMC. Fucking meme stock saga. The biggest shill in the world is Adam Aaron.
Yes, the guy wears a wig and he buys his clothes at Kmart.
Hey, Big K Diet Soda is pretty good. Okay, I just want to.
I mean, he buys his formal wear at Kmart, the one that's still open.
I'm laughing so hard over here. I'm gonna be.
And let's put it this way. I'd love to get my hands on that Bigums and Trey and Boss Blunts, all these guys. They're just, the sad thing is, they're just shills who rob from working class people to give it to these hedge fund bond players. It's just a real shame. But, is what it is.
I'm so
But I think-
happy.
but I
I'm
think-
so
but I think-
happy right now.
The great thing is I've met some really cool people in this circus, and you can't take that away from me. So I think that's good. PJ and Sugar, Paul, goofy ass Spence.
Oh, fuck
Eric,
me,
do
man.
you remember when you were once so mad at me? You accused Spence of being like related to me or something.
Oh.
I mean, you had me blocked, and I've had you blocked how many times?
Yeah, I remember. I still think you guys are related.
Look,
but
me and Max looks a lot like my brother. I'm gonna say that right now. We look a lot alike. So I get where that came from, but when people started saying Mark was paying me, Mark wouldn't pay me to walk his fucking dog.
No, I know. Yeah, I didn't say any of that weird stuff. I don't know if you want to let people. I'm guessing these people probably have some questions or things to say to Mark because he's a superstar. So I don't know if you want to let people.
We can let him up. I just honestly wanted to let you and Mark, and I'll unmute and we'll let it go. But if you want to say something, if you're not in the co-host position, please raise your hand. Let's keep the space controlled because this exchange right now is making me so fucking happy I can't even explain it. And having Mark and Tara, and I'm the host now. Man, I feel like I just made senior partner. I've been watching Suits a lot, so I'm gonna mute everybody. Mark and Tara, you guys control the call. Please do whatever you want. Mute, unmute. So
I think Jake was waiting first. I think I wasn't really paying attention, but
yeah, Jake's had his hand up.
Diligent.
I've just been waiting and being patient and waiting a little more. And, no, it's no big deal. I really like that I'm not well known on this platform because it's kind of a nice break.
You got a big TikTok following though. Your TikTok following is insane, dude.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going to touch on is I've lost 4 accounts over there and almost 1 million followers. And being thrust into something immediately like that with a large following, no matter, I can tell you from that experience, no matter what you do, no matter how nice you are, no matter how mean you would be, no matter what you do, somebody will come after you.
You're a white male on TikTok. I'm telling you right now, I had 500,000 followers from one video, and I got perma-banned during the election.
Man,
You drink Bud Light, man.
God damn it.
I'm
Sugar, I'm going to fucking block Sugar tonight. And I'm going to go to Illinois and I'm going to walk in his liquor store and put a bunch of liquor bottles in the bag and walk out the door because he ain't going to do shit. Sugar's mouth, man. Oh, no. Oh no. My phone died. Phone died. Well, my phone just died because I'm stupid and I didn't plug it in and I knew that and I should have. Damn it. So they're still talking right now. It looks like the space is still up. I'm trying to. Let me see if I can get this up.
And, you know, it's whether it was never anything. It was never anything that was completely just a rational. It was just a rational perspective. It's like, man, I'm not dealing with all of that. I'm not dealing with all of that. It's you very much, you know, no very much. And just tell the truth. And that way, when, you know, people ask questions and why did you say this? Why did you say that? You tell the truth. You don't have to worry about thinking back of all of these things that you had to lie about and say, well, what did I say on June 15th, 2021? I don't remember because I lied about it. And I've seen people do this time and time again here on TikTok. And that's kind of where I'm leaning in with the accountability thing that really, really bothers me. Because Mark, you kind of touched on it a little bit. You know, it's where is the accountability? Because if we can't do it as the small guy at every turn I take because I listen to somebody's advice and it turns out they're lying and they've got a whole team of liars or whatever behind them, where does the accountability fall if we can't do it, if local law enforcement can't do it, if federal law enforcement can't do it, if the SEC can't do it? Where does it happen? When does it happen?
Well, it happened with SBNY when Mark and people actually listened to Mark, got together, went to a lawyer, filed discovery complaints, consolidated it, and went after Vlad Tenev. Mark literally was like, hey, Vlad, why don't you let people actually trade properly? And they knew they were busted then. The funny thing is Robinhood was under a lawsuit at that time for the halts on January 27th. So when SBNY happened, Mark cornered him. We won. And now today, Robinhood just was cleared of the halts of the January 27th incident back in 2021. That's why Vlad stood up and did the right thing. And I'm sorry, my phone just died. I'm a terrible host, and Tara's going to scold me later because everything she taught me, I completely forgot, obviously. But I'm back. I hope everything's still working right. But I will tell you the real victory that AMC could have had, SBNY put holders had. And it's one of the biggest events that's happened, in my personal opinion, in market history, where Mark got an exchange to actually do the right thing. It was crazy. So
This is true. It did happen.
So what's your opinion of me saying that Stanley Tucci should play you in a movie? Do you know who that is?
That's the guy who did that Italian eating series on CNN.
Maybe. He was the one that was in Margin Call. He was the actual the risk advisor in Margin Call that got fired.
I don't know. That guy,
Yes, Mark, he was the guy on CNN.
Yeah. I mean, he's too diminutive and nice.
Spence, I'm writing my script too, so the only person who can play Mark Cohodes, I think, is Clint Eastwood, man. Because he likes to.
Clint Eastwood is 119 years old.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying you that. I'm just saying, but yeah, okay, we might have.
He's still hot.
Else.
Mark's got more energy than I do. I'm 38. I'll just say that.
The only one who can play me is me.
There you go. Nobody better than Mark Cohodes himself.
What about Dollar Bill from God damn, T-Dog's gonna hate me for this. The one with Axelrod. I'm so busy into Suits.
Billions.
Billions. What about Dollar Bill from Billions?
No.
There is going to be a movie.
One day.
I live in New Mexico.
There's an FTX thing coming out at some point from the BBC that's going to be pretty good.
I would love to play Sam Bankman-Fried. I'll put a wig on, just like Adam Aaron, a curly-headed wig. I'll play it. I will literally stop my workout routine. I will get man boobs and all that, and I will play Sam Bankman-Fried. And Mark, you can come in and bitch slap me. It'll be the funniest movie ever.
Especially been drinking all that Bud Light you got on the belly, and you
God,
just match
sugar.
perfect,
This is it, man. Dude, everybody's like, Spence is a short seller now because I shorted Bud Light over Labor Day and made a ton of money on it. And Sugar's in here just, dude, you know what? I'm coming to Illinois, Sugar.
Like I said, you ain't coming in my hood.
To the right, journalism.
Okay, we got Diligent and Rod. They had a hand up, Spence, for a little while.
Yeah, I drink Old English, son, so just recognize.
Actually, Rod was ahead of me, so you can go first.
I appreciate it, Diligent. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's Friday evening's going all right. Hey, Mark, Spence, Tara. I know some of us have interacted before, not everyone, but cheers.
Well, if I blocked you or I was rude to you, I apologize. I've learned a lot in the past couple of years, so.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I've blocked I've been rude to them like a handful. Okay, maybe not everyone, definitely not PJ, but definitely Spence and Mark probably. Right?
Tara.
Yeah, me too, though, Rod. I'm sorry if I was ever not nice to you.
Tara, I blocked you.
It's not a nice place. You know, it's all right. We can all be adults. But I like, the most important thing to me is just open dialogue. I wanted to echo what Jake was saying, being honest. And what you were saying, Tara, about experience, so kind of what Spence just replied with were a few of the things I wanted to comment on. So experience, many of the people who are new to financial markets have hopefully, like Spence, learned a lot over the last few years and taken the market's taken its bite. Perhaps, that's the toll to learn. Like Mark's been around the block decades longer than I have. I've had my ups, I've had my downs. I got thrust into being more, I guess, of a socially known figure in Jan 21 because of the work I did with regard to GameStop, and it's a very mixed stance I have because you've got a lot of pros of this whole thing. People becoming more interested in financial markets, wanting to share information. There's some pros to the community perspective there. There's also cons because there are some cons out there. As well as there's people start being reliant on one another for things. They start feeling like they're obligated to do things because other people are saying. They listen to everything people say, not knowing they might have different priorities. So I got to participate in Keith Gill's Roaring Kitty streams actively throughout the summer of 2020 and into Jan 21. And I think on net, social media is a good thing and is going to add value, and investors who want to derive alpha from it can achieve it. But I just would warn people, you've got to be very cautious and understand if it sounds too good to be true. It probably is. And yeah, that's about it. But hope everyone has a good evening.
All right, everyone. Well, I have this beautiful dab in front of me, so I'm going to cook this up.
Hey, hold on. We got people before you get the hands up, man. Diligent, go ahead, man.
Who was just talking?
I don't know, but
Dab.
Diligent, we have Doberman, we have Diligent, then Doberman. Please, Diligent, go ahead.
Sorry, can I ask a question real quick before we go to Diligent?
Of course.
Yeah.
So, Mark, this is probably more for you because I heard someone earlier note, the saga's over. Well, it's not. There's still inequity. There's still a lot of debt. And I'm curious if you think there's any trades to be made as the borrow fee normalizes, as Adam prints his moon tickets for the folks who, are all in on AMC, so to speak, and they're never leaving. Do you think there's any trading opportunities, say, long credit, short equity in the future that may rear their head?
Nice question.
Well, other than to not be involved in this train wreck, the guys with big money are long the bonds and they are short equity, and they have been. And that's all Adam Aaron cares about. So, honestly, I think this thing has caused so much brain damage. I would just move on and find something better. because no one has a handle on any of these prices other than the handful of hedge funds that own the debt, who are plugged into Adam Aaron like in Tara, who gets sweetheart deals on APE at 55 cents. I mean, think of how much money Adam Aaron handed in Tara for doing zero work.
500
They
million.
handed him the money. Yeah, 500 million for being a pal of the sociopath. And think of how many billions working class people have lost. So to me, I'm not looking for brain damage, and I wouldn't wish brain damage on any of you. So I think I'd put this shit show into the too hard category and never play again. Because there are no guarantees ever on anything. But this situation a year from now is going to be down a lot. A lot. It's already down a lot. It's going to go down a lot more. Because he doesn't care about the equity holders. He only cares about the guys. And making 25 to 30 million a year in salary. So the simple answer to the question is I wouldn't touch this thing at all.
I appreciate it.
I think if you're up money, kiss the ground, walk away. If you're down, take a loss and move on to something that you like. That's my best view.
On that point,
that's a good question.
That was a great question. Great response.
Mark, thank you very much.
I'm trying to bring Tara back up. A week ago, I told everybody, I was like, UPST, shark lender, they're going to the downside. A week later, they dropped 45%. And even with my own recommendation, I was only in part way because I was locked up in this stupid fucking ape play because I want to try to help people out of the situation. And I don't do anything on Twitter that I don't actually put my money into, right? So Mark's 100% right. There's so many other plays to make that you can make money and still do it morally correct, if that makes any sense. So I'm trying to bring Tara back up. I don't know. I sent her, if she's still in here, I sent her a co-host invite. So
she has a speaker. She might be on the phone or busy.
Yeah.
But we got
Spencer Sugar. You guys were the ones that guided us, everybody, to make sure that we had a way to get out of this thing.
Thanks, Big.
Man, I will not go into all this detail, but when Mark came in the picture and when Mark was in the last call we had before APE was issued, Mark was very clear what was going to happen.
Mark was the first one that taught us everything.
Yep.
We had to get out of it.
Yeah, Mark
they were
told us.
Screw us from the beginning.
Yeah, Mark told us that day where this going to end, and some of us did listen. And we, I'm glad what we did, but you again, to each their own. I never tell anybody to sell or this or buy it. I always tell people, this is what I did, man. You do what's best for you. You buy, sell, whatever you want to do. It's your own money. But when somebody who has 43 years experience in this fucking market, I would rather listen to him than some junky YouTuber who's selling Domino's pizza and then giving people financial advice. It all comes down to this.
Experience where he was absolutely screwed by a major fund and bank. He sent me a magazine, and I'm telling you guys, I should repost this. I should read it word for word on YouTube, and I believe what I read was Goldman. But they changed Mark's haircut in 2008 and screwed him out of a winning position. And the fact that he recovered from that, the real thing is Mark's an underdog. He hit rock bottom and came back, and he is the fucking champion now. And that to me means everything, because I've been in the same freaking place. And at some point in time in the past year, 12 months, or 2 years, when I was not necessarily trying to disrespect Mark, but I was trying to help everybody else out of this play. I messed up, and I did the wrong thing, and I made it look like I was being disrespectful to Mark.
Spence, we all love you for that, man.
You
were for everybody.
It sucked though, because I did it the wrong way, and Mark lined me back up, but it was at a point in time where I should have been more loyal to Mark, and I regret that intensively, because I'm not going to say anything, but I know now what he was going through, and it reminded me of leading my soldiers in the military, where we always say you never know what people are going through, and I'm telling you what, Mark came out of that. It sounds weird because we're all like, oh, Mark, but I'm telling you, man, this guy is a fucking champion.
And remember, Spence, when that the piece of shit Adam Aaron was taking Mark's crow and trying to, we're gonna shove this down the throat. Oh, they're like, that dude is so insecure within his own body, like he had to take Mark.
He wants to be Mark. He wants to be Mark.
Exactly. I mean, if it's just this whole thing, like, it's just sad what it has boiled down to, and it has come down to.
Mark lives rent free in Adam Aaron's head.
Well, because he knows that one day when he gets investigated, he will. And I hope, like, Mark's been saying all along, I've been saying for last 15 months, we need to follow this money. We need to hold these people accountable. They did dirty to hard-working people who saved this company. Adam Aaron didn't save this company. Bigham, Blunt, Trades, all these people, they didn't save this company. It was retail investors.
Let's say this. Let's see how much money these fucks made on YouTube, and let's see how much money they actually made on their trades. That's why I always say, like, let's see your trade results. Let's see your yearly P&L. And I'm telling you, Bigham's and all these guys are making all their money off of YouTube. They do not put their money where their mouth is, and their trades show it. I will say this one time. I'll be totally honest. Astro came out today and he said, hey, he literally talked about it. Astro was on our side, maybe got wrapped up in some stuff, but Astro actually today tweeted something that was enough for me to say, he was like, okay, well, it was a good run, guys. You know what I mean? But man, and I'm telling, one day it was 4 a.m. in the morning. I woke up, I got up, Astro was getting ready. He tweeted something about exposing everybody.
The trick is, I've seen it. Astro has the goods on Trey.
Mm-hmm. He was ready to expose it.
Yeah, Astro's got the goods, and the one thing, I think, PJ, we talked about this. Everyone should fill out an SEC whistleblower claim on Trey, Biggums, Adam Aaron, all these guys as it relates to AMC. A whistleblower into the feds and see what happens.
So I did on my own, of course, without an attorney, and I never heard back. Ever. Not even an acknowledgement. And it wasn't written like a Bigham's story, it was the way I write. And so I wonder if I think it would hold more weight if we had an attorney file for us. Guys, we have to discuss that.
Yeah, I think it's something to discuss with, the basic documentation and, the timeline of who said what when on all this stuff. And you file it with the SEC, you can do it. Everyone can do it themselves, or you get an attorney to do it. And I think if you kick up enough dirt that way, I think it may work. And Gasparino's in Italy. And I think when Gasparino gets back, I'm going to have a chat with him about this as well, because if he brings this kind of stuff up, I think someone could start a ground fire here. with these guys.
I will
and let it start with Bigums and Trey and Blunts and these YouTubers and see where it trails back to. Because Astro did send me all his stuff with Trey, and it was really bad. That's why I said I think money with Adam Aaron and Trey is in the 90s.
Me and Astro, I'm telling you, we vibe. And I've never talked to him personally, but just the communications we've had in our tweets, and the morning I woke up, it was like 4 a.m. and he was like, I'm gonna expose everyone. I was like, do it. Somebody got to him and did not want him to do it. And Astro has been on the fence ever since. I've sensed it. I feel it. I can tell. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Mark. Because we've had our differences, but I really like Astro and his stuff. And I think he's got that rebel vibe in him, and he wants to expose people. So.
Well, I think this is going to end up being a slow burn. I think what these guys did is horrifically bad, and I just think people are going to have memories, and vengeance isn't the right word, but I think everyone is truly going to get what they deserve in this deal, but it may take some time, and I'm busy right now, so.
Do you have any, maybe you can DM me if you have any recommendations of a whistleblower attorney? Because I'm sure I just can't open the yellow book.
Yeah, I have a guy.
Okay, if you would forward me his information, I'm curious. Okay. Because I do think that it holds more weight having an attorney file that whistleblower form than just one of us writing, filling out the form to, without somebody representing us.
When I'm done with APE, my time is completely free. I'm finally done. I've got all my other stuff set up. We need to all have dinner and finally put the fucking bolts to these people.
We got to, man. We can't let these low life fucks just get away just like that. After all, we have endured everything. I have endured racism, bullshit, ignorance, hatred. You name everything. We can't let these people get away stealing money and using people. That's just a disgrace, dude.
Sugar, I wish I was as tan as you are, bro. All these girls call me whitey. It's so bad.
Well, that's what happens when you keep drinking that Budweiser. But
God damn it! I'm done. I'm muting.
We gotta get Diligent and Doberman. Diligent, go ahead, brother.
I really hate to, you guys are having such like a cheerful conversation. I came in here because of the AMC title, and I was doing some digging on AMC's DEI policies and saw that they actively promote two organizations that advocate for gender affirming care for children. And when I made a tweet about it, I got bombarded by a bunch of AMC stockholders for making the tweet.
Of course you did.
But I got receipts, so I put it down in the purple pill. You're free to check it out. I'm not like making anything up. There's a link to AMC's website.
Terrible is about to rejoin the chat because of what you just said. I swear to God.
I'm here actually more to ask questions. Actually, so
go for it.
So as AMC stockholders, what impact can you have on their policies, such as supporting those two organizations, the Trevor Project and the It Gets Better Project that I just mentioned?
Well, here's the thing. Most people don't even know what those are. So if you're invested in AMC, you may not know that you're supporting it. But we all know that Adam Aaron, allegedly, is the globalist CEO, which if you read, these are plunderers, you will understand his ties with Apollo. That's the whole thing. Now, I have a personal theory that all this agenda stuff that's going on is to destroy companies so that you make them prime for buyouts. Money is it. Cash talks, bullshit walks. All this agenda stuff, everything is bullshit. What's going on is the big corpo people have grown so much. There's only so far you can go in a capitalist economy. You have to destroy your own product to be able to buy it back cheaper, if that makes sense. That's my opinion on it. So,
is there anything that the shareholders can do to get that policy changed?
Yeah, the shareholders could all get together and vote out some of the people on the board of directors. But the problem is with AMC, you have people like Cat Striker, Bigums, Trades, and blah, 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 who are misleading everybody to make money on YouTube. And the thing is, if you tell people what they want to hear, they will pay you for it. That's the sad truth of reality today. If I tell people the truth, I'll be fucking crucified. So.
Anyway, let me just pause for a station break. PG, I just sent you an email, and I copied a guy named Bob, and I said, PJ, Bob used to be an associate director of enforcement at the SEC, and he's a friend. I think it's important to catch up with PJ about her idea, MCC. So you should have that.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. I'm going to check right now.
PJ.
So he used to be with the SEC, and he's a badass. So I think if you two can hit it off, I think he would do that for you.
Remember what I told you, PJ?
What was that?
When Mark was ready, I was ready.
Let's do it.
Now's the time.
I'm working hard on Overstock, so I'm still,
I got it, Mark. Thank you.
Read into that one. Okay. Perfect.
Me and PJ will do this, and
Well,
keep working hard on Overstock.
Let's just take it from here when we all get organized, and then when then we can talk to Mark about the lawyer and everything. Then,
this guy Bob is a lawyer. He does do whistleblower work. He's a friend of mine. I think this could be, if you give him enough evidence, it could be a huge case.
Me and Sugar and PJ and Neil have some receipts.
I just got a DM from somebody. Good. They have recorded Mark all trace all the videos and everything. People have evidence. Even these people, if they think they will delete it, somebody just sent me a DM a few minutes ago that they have traced all the recording and everything, what they were doing. They have all of that, and I know that once we start doing this, there'll be a lot of people come in light, and we there is literally something can come out of this and how these people accountable what they did to people.
Yeah, I think that's where it goes, and if you create a timeline that's solid and you put it up against their trades or what they got paid and things like that, I think it becomes very powerful, because a lot of people here lost a lot, and it didn't have to be that way. It did not have to be like this. So that's all. We just got to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Exactly. That's the thing. We can't let these people do what they did to these hardworking people and keep continuing to do it to other people. Because at the end of the day, if people don't get held accountable to what they did to people in this community or movement or whatever, this was one of the biggest retail investors movement. They could have done so much with this, Adam Aaron and all these grifting fucks. They could have done so much with this movement, but they just try to enrich themselves. It's a disgrace, man. I've never seen anything like that. We got Doberman hands up. Doberman, go ahead, brother. Sorry for that.
Oh, don't worry about it. How you doing, Kush or Shug? I met Shug a couple weeks ago in a space with Bam, and I hope he's not having a heart attack tonight. He's done a lot for this movement.
Yeah, he attacked me 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's you know what, man, he's got a good heart. He's very old school. He's very passionate.
He does. I will agree with you. I think his mind and heart is in the right place.
Yeah, he knows his shit, and I can tell, just listening to Mark. I gave you and Mark a follow that Mark knows his stuff, and I've been following Terra for a long time. I'm rebuilding my account because good old Elon banned me again about a month ago. I'm a lightweight retail investor, but I'm an OG when it comes to the AMC. I've been in this since the get go, and a couple thoughts that I had is, I heard in another space when I was driving home from work that there's already paperwork being drawn up whether or not it'll work to put a stay in place and take it up to a district court, and if that doesn't work,
that's all bullshit.
Yeah, and I would assume that it's not going to work.
Who did you hear that from?
I don't remember the name. It was just in another space.
So it's an uncertified source from someone on Twitter.
It was Ethan. Ethan was the one that was.
Yeah, Ethan's full of shit. I like Ethan. I'll tell you that right now. But Ethan's full of shit.
Let's not get personal attacks, man.
Oh, no. Hold on, Sugar. Ethan texted me on my private number that I grudgingly gave up and called me a bitch on my private number because I disagreed with him. I hosted Ethan on my spaces multiple times. Fuck that bullshit. Ethan is a fraud. He's been arrested 5 times. Ethan is a fraud. Bottom line.
What I wanted to get to is I'm and I know it's not financial advice, and Mark might be able to, or one of you guys might be able to steer me in
Love you, Sugar.
But anybody. But my whole thought is I'm so far down. I've got so many thousands of dollars in this that I've got that old school belief that I'll go down with the damn ship, man.
Let me tell you that. Well, hold on, right there. The go down with the ship. The only reason you ever go down with the ship is because you're the captain and you're trying to be honorable, right?
No, I get it, but let me finish my thought because we don't know exactly how some of this stuff is gonna turn out. We talked about when Mark and one of the other guys, Rod, were talking about, or one of you guys mentioned whether or not this board and Aaron needs to be replaced, and whether or not this movement shifts from where it's been now to it's time to get new leadership in this company. I've seen reports, and maybe it's wrong. Maybe Mark has a different, somebody who looks at these charts every day. They say that a couple years down the road, if the debt gets pulled, if the debt gets taken care of and things are back in the rightful place, that this stock could be worth a couple $100 a share.
He's just going to run up the debt again after it's paid off from diluting AMC shareholders.
And I can almost hear it and see it between the lines because he talked about, we're going to need to put money in facilities, and we're going to have air conditioners that need replaced, and this, that, and the other. But
Nicole Kidman needs another $25 million.
Exactly. But what's everybody's thoughts on whether or not, how hard is it for the movement to be able to get a shakeup in that board, or to get Aaron out of that position and to get somebody in there that's going to pay a little bit more attention to the shareholders?
Here's the problem. Is that when retail bought into this thing and everybody FOMO'd in back in January of 2021 or 2020, whatever it was, you have millions of retail investors that each own 10, 150 shares or whatever, right?
I wish it was only that.
These are the millions of investors. These are 5 to 9 people. They don't care anymore. The movement's over. These people are all they're working at the dentist, they're working at the mechanics garage, changing oil, whatever. They will not show up to vote. The AMC vote is diluted so wildly over a spectrum of retail investors that Adam Aaron knows he can't get a quorum. So he did I think
he did what he needed to do to make sure he's untouchable at this point.
AMC was definitely going to go bankrupt, and what he did was he took Marc's plan of T0, turned it into the Dollar General version of APE, and gave everybody the old school Chicago 1940 arbitrage play, right? And that's when everybody jumped back in on the investor side. And Adam Aaron is going to win on this because of arbitrage. Arbitrage is guaranteed win for the shorts. The only reason I'm here and putting my money and time into it is to try to fix people's bags in AMC. When this is done, I will never touch another fucking share of AMC again. And I will dedicate my damn time to exactly what Marc has been telling us for the past hour.
Well, I'm the same way, Spence, but, I look at it and I say, number one, I wouldn't buy another share at this point. If I don't even know if I'd take a free share. But at this point, I mean, I just, while everybody was talking, I was looking at my accounts and I'm like, I mean, it's peanuts, man. It's almost to the point where, look, I'll go make more. I'll go make more money. There's almost this side point of it. It's like, I don't want to give him. I don't want to sell it to him. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a bad way of thinking, but there's this part of me that's like, I don't want to give in to him and let him win by selling back my shares. And I'd rather just literally just sit on these damn things until they rot. That's how much I'm going to lose that much money anyway.
You can and you can use future gains. But where again on when you
I think you're rubber banding, Mark. Can anybody else hear him? Oh, we lost him.
I don't know. He must be in Montana.
I think he's probably driving. Did you see him?
Well, if he's in California and driving, then he's in the mountains, and that's why everybody.
Did you guys catch at all what he said? Did you anybody hear the beginning of it?
No, we didn't hear nothing what he said.
That sucks too, because he was about to say something good.
Does anything I say make sense, or do you guys think I'm sounding crazy?
Dude, brother, if you, I'm going to tell you this right now. You're holding out on that for like justice. You know what I mean? I always tell people follow their gut. Every time I don't follow my gut instinct on a trade, I lose. So
no, I hear you.
Mark's coming back in. I want to hear what he had to say. He was going to say something incredible.
He's back.
No, what I said, I don't know if anyone heard it, is Adam Aaron initially pushed APE as a dividend. Remember that, Spence?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I remember it.
So it's going to turn out to be the ultimate dilutive vehicle. So when he kept saying dividend, I think, pardon the whistleblower, is you guys really have him on that one in a very big way. Right? He kept saying it was this whole dividend thing, to me, all his initial proclamations. And again, AMC went ex-dividend. So what he told people versus what it was, and I was out there warning everyone what was, I think you really have him here on security fraud. You really do.
I think so too, Mark. And I have been saying this, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but it just drives me crazy. I have been saying for the past year that all he's doing is grooming. I mean, I'm not so sure I like the word grooming, but
no, he's a groomer. He's a groomer.
Golden carrot, saying one thing and doing another, and he set all the shareholders up, or all the apes. He set all the apes up for failure, for absolute. He set them up to rob them, and that's what gets me mad. And there are hundreds of tweets to prove that. Including his go around to all the movie theaters to, schmooze with the folks that went to see him. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then tie it into what he did with HYMC, and it's just incredible to me.
Look at the market. Look at what the market cap of AMC was at its peak at 72. billions of dollars of equity was robbed, right? I got to say real quick, I got to say this, and then I'm going to mute. I want to give a shout out to Lee Lance. Even when me and Mark were at odds and Mark blocked me and bitch slapped me, Lee did it, man. So, Lee, if you want to say something, you definitely have the floor, man.
Yeah, man, I was just going to add in, other than the tweets, I mean, I think we have the videos of, and we've talked about multiple people have talked about the YouTube videos with Trey, the short film, this was set up for years, and coming, Adam Aaron knew it, but he caught all the apes in a perfect storm. And like I said, I mean, I think it's been going or been planned since he was named the chairman of the board. I think the whole thing was in motion then.
Yes, this has been, so APE has been, in my opinion, and it's not really my opinion because we have text tweets to prove it. From April of 2021, when he said, we're not going to dilute, we understand you, we hear you, and everybody cheered because they knew they had APE already approved in 2013. And then that's what I mean by him dangling that golden carrot from April of 2021 all the way up until last year. He had a full over a year of grooming and schmoozing and making himself the superstar and propping up people like Schleifer, propping up people like Trey and all those other people, propping them up, and then turning them against Mark and T0.
PJ, this thing was planned from the day retail investors saved AMC. If people really go back and realize what all this has happened, it was they never wanted AMC to be saved from bankruptcy. It's the retail who stepped in and did all this stuff, and this was all planned.
We were their wildest Christmas present.
Exactly. They wanted wanted to get retail investors out of the pictures, and they are getting rid of retail investors one way or the other.
The trick is, Sugar, they wanted retail investors involved.
100%.
You know, at $3 or $4, so they could put a short on and short the stock against the bonds, because they knew the stock was worthless, and if they could make it on the stock, they could make incremental profit. Where it all went bad is when the stock went north of 10. And when it became apocalyptic, when the stock, really went. Because that's when the guys are long the bonds aren't moving, and their shorts up 15 times against them. Right, that was the Mudrick trade at 30.
These
otherwise those guys would have gone broke.
These are plunderers.
Right? So they wanted retail involved so they could short it to retail at 3, 4, and 5. But when things got out of hand, that's when the crimes were committed. And that's when the financial crimes were committed to screw you guys to their benefit.
Why did they want retail involved?
Turn out.
They wanted retail involved because they knew we got all the free money that came from the COVID thing.
Right. They needed buyers of the stock so they could short them the stock. And that's when the short interest went crazy.
I wish Tara was still here.
The bond guys could set up bonds.
Mark, that goes back before. So Adam Aaron even said that his son was the one who told him that he needed to get involved and get retail involved because of the GME thing. So it was cooking since then. I mean, that was, like you said, the whole play of Adam Aaron was to get retail buying in.
I got attacked massively when I called out the guy on the board of directors back in 2021. The VP who was on the same board as Blockbuster in Circuit City, not not Circuit City, Blockbuster, and some other company that went bankrupt, which led directly into the book, These Are Plunderers. I got attacked so much for calling out that person on the board of directors. And when it happened and I called him out, they let that guy fucking go. Stephen Colanero. He literally bankrupted other companies. These guys like Apollo Global allegedly put these entities into AMC and into Circuit City and into Best Buy and Blockbuster to bankrupt these companies purposely because the bondholders who own the debt are going to make so much fucking money shorting the stock, they're going to end up getting either A, paid out on the bond, or B, bankruptcy, and they're going to wrap up the company into some kind of monopolistic entity. So it's so...
I 100% agree, man, but I think where it's different in this scenario is we've seen this for decades, and it's been, the Mitt Romney companies and those kind of guys, and everybody hates those people, or at least everybody in retail that understands or grasps what goes on behind the Toys R Us and the Circuit Cities and all that kind of stuff. The difference is this time the CEO and chairman of the board is in on it. That's the problem.
You know what's crazy about Toys R Us? You know what it reminds me of? The antithesis of Overstock. Because Toys R Us, they really wanted the fucking IP and the computers and the structure. Now Overstock owns Bed Bath & Beyond IP. Isn't that funny?
Oh yeah,
perfect. That's another thing. Like once all this is done, there are good stocks. There are good companies. Like I say, if you invest, even if you get your money out, whatever you get, don't be disheartened. Don't think it's the end of the world. Invest in good stocks. They're good companies. I
don't let go of the rope, right?
Exactly. Like like what Mark, I have that in my profile. What Max says, it's not what they call you; it's what you answer to. You can still do a lot better with your life, and just pay attention. There are people like Mark who's been always guiding us. Now after 2 years, if you still can pay attention to people like him, Greg, Hidden Pivot, there are a lot of good people in this market who are here to guide you. So you can, and they're not charging you anything, any money. If you think $10 Mark needs your $10 subscription, he don't.
He gives it to charity.
Exactly. All these people, they have been blessed by everything. God has given them money, fame, name, everything. Yet these people are here in the markets to help us, guide us, and we can learn from these guys free of cost. So you can.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy.
No, go ahead, brother. But
what I was going to say is that you talk about them being blessed. We're all blessed to be able to listen to what Mark says and have Mark saying that. I mean, this is the first time I've stepped up on a call to speak, so I want to say that to Mark. I greatly appreciate him, and he and I have messaged back and forth some. And Spence, I appreciate you, and PJ, and you too, Sugar. I mean, we're not going to let go of the rope, right? We're going to see this to the end.
We're going to take the rope. We're going to take the rope and wrap it around their fucking necks. That's what we're going to do.
That's what we have to. And like Lee, you were not here earlier. I think Joe wants to talk, and Joe had his hand up for so long. Joe, I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. Joe?
It's Jake.
No, Joe had his hand up.
I'll bring him back up because I see him up here, but he unmutes, but I don't see his hand up, and it just echoes. Joe, do you have something, Joe?
Joe is up here. Joe, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
I don't know how this stuff works. I'm maybe a year and a half, couple years on Twitter. So
all good, brother. You're good.
I like the Twitter. It's I'm going to tell you. So when I got involved in AMC, I was just coming out of crypto. Made a lot of money in crypto, and I got out a year.
Good for you.
Because I saw the writing on the wall with crypto, right? So I got all my money out.
And I got an AMC, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going to lose on this. Everybody's talking big about it. I'm gonna make money on this." And I rode that son of a bitch all the way into the 70s. And the next summer, I rode that son of a bitch all the way in the 50s. And I just sat there. I didn't do shit. And then all of a sudden, I heard about this guy named Marc Cohodes. And I was like, he's arguing with Adam Aaron. I'm like, who's this guy? So I started looking around, and it kind of started making sense to me. And then I started looking at Adam Aaron's, one of his kids is a real shitbag. And the fruit never falls too far from the tree, right? So I started putting some things together, and the fact that he didn't let Marc help him with the whole tracking the shares thing, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get out of this. And I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I lost a lot of money. But you know what? I'm going to make it back, because this ENVX thing, you think Enphase was big. ENVX is going to make it look like a little kid. I think ENVX is going to rock. And, you know, I was getting a little nervous the last couple of days on TRUP because I'm heavy short in Trupp and Healy. And I messaged Marc. I said, man, I'm getting a little sweaty here. This is getting ridiculous. And Marc just says, patience. I'm like, okay, fine. So you know what? The last 2 days I've been able to breathe. But I know.
Let me tell you something. I'll just make it real clear. I'm up to fucking no good on this TRUP. Okay? Just stay fucking tuned.
Yeah.
These guys, right? They are gonna fucking rot in hell.
I want to say,
but sometimes things take time. I can't control. Listen very carefully. I cannot control what I can't control.
Yeah.
But a ship has sailed, and when it reaches the port, there's going to be women, kids, dogs, cats crying, right? And everyone will know. So they pulled the same bullshit on me on Silvergate. I'll never forget. Sven sent me something that said, all these guys on Discord are all along Silvergate. They're all talking about a squeeze. You know,
and
blah, blah, blah.
It ran up a little bit, but you told me these guys are fucking stupid.
It ran from 16 to 24. I said they're stupid and they're going to lose all their money. Okay? Period. So.
And what happened?
It's now trading at 20 cents. So, and I'm still shorted at 20 cents.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's balls.
I think we got him in Trupanion, and I think we got him dead to rights in Enovix. The difference with Enovix is everyone needs to remember this is speculative on this Gen 2 doing what I think it can do. Do I think Gen 2 is going to be great? I do. But that's yet to be proven out. So, understand there's plenty of risk in Enovix. There's plenty of reward. There's plenty of risk.
I just want to say thank you, Marc, because I've made a ton of fucking money following you.
Good.
And I actually feel like I can trust you. And you're like the only one on social media that I can really feel that way with, right? I feel that I can trust you. So I just want to say thank you. And you helped get me out of AMC. I lost a buttload of fucking money, but I'm going to make it back. And I know that I don't have any followers on Twitter. Some of you have thought that maybe I have a fake account. It's not a fake account, but I'm not here for fucking followers.
I said that to Terrible, the first Twitter space address. I said I don't have any followers. Dude, that doesn't matter. Your message right now is more important than the follower count you have. And I'll tell you this. What you just said about Marc is 100%.
No, totally. And I like I said, I really feel like I trust you, Marc. And the last 2 days on Healy and Trupp, I can actually breathe again. So that's been nice. I'm really hoping it keeps going down. We're coming into that season, and we got some big fucking problems out here. Okay, so
how about all these guys hassling me? What's with Helen? What's with Helen? What's with Helen? I say,
just you got to be patient and let this shit play out.
Well,
I have no handle on the day to day.
Sure.
I'm going to tell you guys, there's no money in the streets right now. The money has dried up. Okay.
Yep.
I've got a friend of mine that runs an industrial park in the Northwest, and he rents out hundreds of thousands of square feet. And he doesn't have just little guys not paying his rent. FedEx is $128,000 back right now on rent down there. There's some big fucking problems coming.
A lot of my money, if it's not going to the orphanage in Albuquerque, is going to my local bartenders. I tip people at the fast food places. I still don't believe that I deserve anything I have right now. It's a bad habit of mine. So I give out so much money to these people around me that take care of me, and I hope everybody gets to meet the people at my tap room someday. But there's something coming. Exactly what you said.
Yeah. I just want to say thanks, Mark. And I also told Mark that once I make millions on Enovix, because I really think it's going to happen, okay, I'm going to give $100,000 to his favorite charity. But I told him he's got to have dinner with me.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to sign off. I just wanted to say thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Hey, Joe. Let me jump in right quick and say you got another follower because I just followed you. So
Yeah, I followed you too. You're gonna jump 100.
With the industrial park thing, I mean, I have retail businesses, and I can tell you it's coming. It's coming.
Uh-huh. Listen, I was just there's a Cabela's where we're at, right? Stam. And these people line up and down the street selling puppies, okay? Last year they couldn't keep them. They were getting $1,300 for an AKC lab.
Good
I
God.
talked to probably 24 of these people. And guess what they're all saying? I can't give away my fucking puppies.
Yep.
I mean, there is no money on the street.
Last year we talked in a call, Joe. I used to be in a trucking business. Trucking has been the worst in the history of America, and America runs on trucking. A lot of people are very, they're like, UPS paying $170,000. But a lot of people don't get this, that trucking has been in the major recession. I didn't get out of trucking because I used to make really good money. But when I saw it really going down the hill, I got out because I knew and believe me, since I got out, I know at least 15 of my friends, those who just filed bankruptcy. And they're like people who own 5 to 20 trucks. Imagine big companies like US Express selling for, yellow company filing bankruptcy.
Yep.
Whenever all this starts, it starts with trucking. It leads to banks and then financial and then the real estate.
That's why I pay attention. That's why I pay attention to those industrial parks, because they're full of nothing but transport trucking. And when it always hits there first. But anyways, I just want to say hi, guys. I gotta head to the racetrack, and thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. And
Racetrack.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch some races.
Horses or like dirt, like?
Oh no, car racing.
Oh, like.
That's what we like.
I'm a redneck. Anyways, thanks, guys. I appreciate
it. Sugar, I'm literally, man. I'm wearing my grandpa's 1975 Timex or whatever year it is watch. He was a firefighter for 20 years, volunteer, but he was a trucker for U.S. Holland. I went and got it cleaned. I spent $100 getting it cleaned and refurbished, and this watch is still rocking today. I'll tell you, I've never had more respect for anybody, well, besides Mark, but truckers, I mean, everything you see in trucking, makes our economy go around, so we just recently had a big trucking business, shipping business go out of business. Something's coming.
It's not only spends that major these big cities like San Francisco, Manhattan, You will not believe how much of this this commercial places they're empty. They owe
They're
hundreds of millions.
oh, commercial real estate, CRE loans, right?
Yeah.
You know how Jamie Dimon, the pimp piece of shit, come out and said there's a short selling ban, started rumors allegedly, right? I was up so much money on Metropolitan Bank because it's a little gangster bank, and Jamie Dimon decided to come out and pimp the market. It's so bad. It's so bad. Jamie Dimon is JP Morgan is such a shitty bank. It's crazy, man.
But all I want to say is, like, watch what you are doing, listen to people, pay attention to people like Mark. There is money to be made, and just save some. Sometimes it's good to have cash on hand. I kept some cash on hand just because I know once this shit. Sometimes all you need is one good opportunity.
Well,
if you get that one good opportunity, when I was buying ENVX, when I bought ENVX, nobody gave a shit about me. I think when it went up,
I did.
3 or 4 people. I mean, there were 3 or 4 people who bought with me. And today, when I get DMs, like they're like, "Man, I'm glad we bought it." It's not like I need anything from them or they owe me anything. But I paid attention to Mark. I paid attention to few other people that Mark was guiding me. I am today where I am. It's a lot to do because of Mark Cohodes. I'm not one of those guys who just say to stuff, for likes and followers or KSAT. No, but I am proud that, I can talk to, if I need something, I can call Mark tomorrow. Mark, I need this. He will guide me. I am proud of that. In last 2 years, if I have earned something, I've earned friendship of people like Marc Cohodes and a lot of you guys, and to me, it's a blessing. And I am not as smart as a lot of you guys. You guys are born in this country. You can do a lot better with your life, and you can make your lives better. But don't spend on listening to junky YouTubers like Blunts, Bigums, Cast. These people got rich. They made money off of you. Educate yourself. Listen to people who can make your life better. If you're still doing the same thing you were doing 2 or 3 years ago, it's your own damn fault, man. You can't keep even blaming Bigums and all these people because they are here to use you. But it's you who are getting used by them.
Sugar, I'm going to add too. Jumping back to the trucking thing, I will say, you're right. It starts with the trucking, and my family has been in that business. My wife is an executive at, I'm not going to say who, but a big company that's been in the news recently, maybe regarding unions and such. And she sees it coming. But on top of that, what you just pointed out was the thing with Mark is, I wanted to tweet this, but I didn't want to be too much of a fanboy. But the coolest thing about Mark and Greg Reyes too is they're smarter than a lot of us in many regards. They're certainly more wealthy than a lot of us in many regards, but they're just like us. I mean, they're just normal people. They're just regular guys. And you can go to them and ask them questions, and they respond to you, and they respect you, and that's what I dig the most about those guys.
But Lee,
and real quick, if you really look at that relationship, in my opinion, like their political differences kind of differ, and they're still good friends, and they literally still go out and light fireworks and burn shit down and shoot cannons.
Shoot cannons, 100%.
Exactly. and Lee, not only that, I'm okay. I don't give a fuck what people call me a fanboy. I'm okay. I'd rather be a fanboy of somebody who has got me somewhere in my life than rather be a fanboy of some junky YouTuber or a piece of shit CEO who has made $100 million off of hardworking people.
Absolutely.
You choose your heroes. I chose my hero as Marc Cohodes, Greg Reese, and some few other people.
If Mark and Greg ran for president and vice president,
yeah, Well, no, my whole thing about like saying I didn't want to tweet it for the fanboy thing was simply because then people start looking down on it even more or talking, it just leads to more trash talking. I mean, I tweet to Mark and Greg both, but to be able to just go out there and say, hey, these guys, they really do care about Joe and Jane Sixpack, then people are just going to start trashing it. And that's what I don't like.
Mark never had to, Mark never had, it's not like he came here with money. These people are blessed with everything. Like we said earlier. But what we are blessed with is to know from them, learn from them, grow with them, educate ourselves. And where I am today, I cannot, like Spence said, he had few beers, I have few shots of whiskey in me. And, I just say it from my heart, man. I'm not here for likes and all this bullshit. I'm on my 6th count. I give 2 shits. You follow me, unfollow me. I don't give a fuck. But I say it like I have to say it. For me,
That's my boy.
For me, I've always respected Mark as a father figure, and I always will. And I'm glad where I am today, Lee. It's a lot to do with Mark's guidance. If it would not have been for Mark, I would have been divorced, and I can't tell you where I would have been. Let's just leave it that.
Well, Sugar, I mean, you gained my respect from the first call that I recall you being on, and it might have been the first call that I was on, but you might have been on many before that, but you've had my respect ever since.
I'm glad to hear Lee speak, man. Lee has been here through the entire thing, like Sugar, but Lee has really been there. Lee even messaged me a few times and straightened me out a little bit. So, big props.
Well, Spence, man, I it's the same to you, dude, and I respect you as well. I mean, I hate where we're at, but I appreciate it at the same time, and certainly appreciate everybody that's on this call.
It's really interesting, everything we're talking about. But if you really look into Mark's past successes, Memedex, what was that credit? Damn, German credit card thing. Wirecard. Fuck. If you really look into that, and it took me a while to really go back and research that because I was in Iraq at that point in time in 2008. The stuff that Mark went through exposing those frauds that some of us that are born, I'll say 1980 to 2020. No, not even that, 2000. The stuff that actually happened then is crazy. And it's all just starting to come to light. And we're all getting it, and we're all having the aha moment that Mark talks about. There's a big awakening coming, and it's going to be something.
Wirecard was effing huge. Gotta hand it to you, Mark. I mean, that was a huge call that he made way early. It's shocking how long it took for the Germans to the level of corruption just blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, when I guess it might have been Twitter where I first discovered Mark, and it's been several years back, and started looking into who he was and what he had done, and Google and YouTube, and the more I watched, the more I was impressed. I'm telling my wife, hey, check this guy out, man. This guy's good at what he does. And I knew then that I had to start listening.
And he had to put up with a lot of shit and a lot of harassment from people in high places along the way. I think also, especially with the other medical company, I forgot. What is it, MyMedic?
High and low places. Look at all the people like Bigham's. I mean, I didn't even realize it, but Mark had to line me up. Bigham's made a video where it was just terrible.
Spence, those people like Bigham, Blast Blunts, these people, they were like leeches, those who were looking for opportunity to get rich off the community. They had no
They're meth
background
heads.
in finance. Well, they and a lot of them are criminals. They have felony records. Like, you will not believe how many of these YouTubers, they have felony records. They can't even get a regular job like most of the people. So they found a perfect opportunity to pump this BS, worshipping Adam Aaron. He's the best CEO and all that nonsense, so they can clickbait, get their views, get their Discord money, and whatever that Barney or Uncle Barney, whoever these people are getting paid.
Well,
but the biggest thing in all of this is, Spence, these people were definitely getting paid by the insiders to push their narrative and agenda. And Mark says this again and again. Follow the money, put these people on the defendant. Once they're put on the defendant bench, you follow that money piece by piece, how much Trey made, how he used, how he was able to get an interview with Adam Aaron, how he was friends with Adam Aaron's sons.
Yep.
You will find out every single thing. You cannot erase that whole trail.
You know what's crazy? Grandpa Barney actually follows my YouTube channel now and is sending me super chats, and I talk to Froggy Styles. You guys know Froggy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So every time Grandpa Barney sends me money, I give it to St. Jude immediately.
Nice.
I don't think he's an actual bad person. I think he was just misled. Grandpa Barney, anyways. But that's why I give all my fucking YouTube channel money away. I'm the only YouTuber that gives their money away from day fucking one, because I wasn't making it because of me. It was because of Mark and Tara. The only reason I even have the followers I have is because of that. I'm giving that money away every single fucking day. And that's where Trey, and I'm telling you right now, Astro, he's on the right side of things. And if he ever comes out and actually exposes everyone, I will back him 109%.
He will, Spence. Eventually they all will, because when you lose so much of your hard-earned money, and it doesn't matter your friendship or whatever, people will eventually need to have answers. They will look for answers, and that's why I always say, like, once all this shit show ends, look at your portfolios.
Yep.
And ask yourself whether cloud chasing for likes, all these retweets, how many people retweet, was it worth it? And if it was not worth it, then wake up and realize that who these people were and how you were misled. And if you were misled, held these people accountable so they don't do it to some other retail investors. I want that justice to be seen. If I have to pay money from my pocket, I will do whatever I can, but I want these people to be held accountable how dirty the retail investors were done. I just want that.
I'm getting DMs right now about that. Like, literally, I'm getting DMs, and I'm like, I'm up 260% on the year. And I have people DMing me going, "You're an idiot, you're a fraud, and I'm like, what are you talking about?" That's the problem. Dude, and the reason I unblocked everybody is because when this is all over and people need help, even if they hate me, whatever they did to me, I'll be there to try to fucking help them. Because that's what Mark does.
Well, we have learned from the best. We have learned from Mark that I still can't believe, like, after all this, Mark is still here guiding us and helping us. But you know why he's here? Because some of us never disrespected him. And we always held him in the utmost respect. And, I'm just that, he's still guiding us in the right direction. We are where we are today is because of people like him and Greg and few other people. But I got to get to that. Jake got his hand up for a long time. Then Elo will come back to you. Jake, go ahead.
He just pushed Elo off like nothing.
You just want to brush me off?
No. Okay, man.
No, this is how we're going to do this. Look, I just want to say, when it comes to Mark,
when he sings the same song over and over and over and over and over again, you have to say to yourself, this motherfucker gotta be right. Something ain't right. And Spence became that same person. Once Spence singing the same tune.
I got bitch slapped.
And over, and you've been singing the same tune for the past year, 2 years, and man, over and over again.
Two lessons Mark taught me.
Let him talk. I know you.
No, it's real quick, and it's to Elo's point. It's right to Elo's point. Mark taught me 2 lessons: thesis creep and consistency. So
yeah. And I want to thank you, Spence. I want to thank you, Suge, PJ, for having my back, helping me, along this way. We almost at the finish line. And I just want to, let y'all know I really appreciate y'all and I love y'all.
No, we're gonna hang out. Like, dude, you're coming soon. So
Yeah, we are, man. We all gonna.
Tara don't want nothing to do with you though.
Yeah, Tara ain't got.
I know you keep cop blocking, man.
You guys, you and Elo can keep dreaming, but we gotta go back to Jake. Jake, go ahead, man.
I've been waiting for a long time, so I'm like far back in the conversation here. But Spence, you're right about the shift. That Sugar, you're right about that too. And I think Lee, you may have mentioned something about that shift. You guys kind of go talk to more people. This facet, this financial facet, is very similar to the social media facet that I'm really intertwined in. That's my area of expertise, but these are the same. These are the exact same. And I went through this not necessarily, I don't want to call it a culture shift. It's a mentality shift where people are starting to understand that even those 9-to-5 guys, is we're all kind of sitting back and we're saying, we want more. How do we get more and how do we live better quality lives? And we're seeing this the same thing happen here as we are in social media. We're seeing people that will take that quick pay to push something that they don't necessarily believe in just because the dollar says so. And we're starting to learn how to really see those people right away when it happens. And what the shift that I'm seeing is happening here as well as over with social media is that we're learning how to call those people out and put a stop to it more quickly than we ever have before. So yes, I agree 100%. There is definitely a shift in things coming. There's a shift in the economic perspective of it too. But people are not dumb. We are not dumb. We're very smart. We're very well informed, more than we've ever been. We're starting to we're not buying the bullshit anymore, and people aren't falling for the same tricks. So when these things happen, these people get screwed. I mean, your best example is look what they look at Sam Bankman there. What's happening to him? He's doing the same age-old tricks and falling for the same age-old scheme and taking those payouts to do something nefarious, and people found out. And now he's going to be screwed for the rest of his life.
Oh, screwed's a nice way to say it.
That guy is, well, when he goes to prison, he will be.
He's going to Pound Town.
He's going to go down to Brown Town, and he's going to hate it.
Pound Town.
And then he can be...
He's on his way to Epstein, where Epstein was being held.
Well, Epstein has a secret ranch in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which I've been watching closely. But, one of the most important things I want to say, exactly to the point of what Jake was saying, is that Mark has this beautiful way of taking his personal beliefs and setting what he has this wonderful logic. Doesn't matter if he's left, right, center, whatever you want to call it. Mark gets to the fucking truth and the real The there. That's it. Mark gets to the there of fucking everything, and I've never met anybody in my life that's ever done that. It's incredible. Left, right, up, down, red, black. It's incredible.
He's doing it 100% the right way, and he's doing it from the same approach. I told people that too, is keep it real. Don't pick sides. You know, don't pick sides. Just be right down the middle, be logical, deliver the information, because we don't want to be screamed at. We don't want people who, we don't want to look at successful people or people who are succeeding in life and have them punch down and scream at us. And just because our ideals might be different or we don't understand, we can't get away with that anymore. You can't sit there and look at somebody and, Spence, my favorite color is green. And you say, oh, my favorite color is red. And I say, well, you're an idiot because red's stupid. Here's why green.
Lowe's is better. Home Depot is better.
But it seems like that type of dialogue has actually grown with Twitter and social media versus, unfortunately, the opposite.
It is. Because people have.
Oh, I'm restricted on Facebook right now. It's getting close to the election time. They immediately always restrict me. So
there is one thing. You can fake anything you want, but genuineness and realness, like you are who you are, and that genuineness you can never fake, because eventually, sooner or later, people will find out who you are. So that if you are genuine from day one, you will be genuine even after 5 years, 10 years. And that's, like people like, I when Mark used to call about Crow, and I gave Mark the name Crow Boss.
Crow Boss.
I will always be proud of the fact that, he was the original Crow Boss, regardless Adam Aaron tried to
Sugar, you coined that name, Crow Boss.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, people like Adam Aaron tried to stake his crow soup, all that idea. But for me, it was always because he was always genuine from day one, and he didn't have to help people, he didn't have to guide people, he didn't have to educate people, but yet he did, because he felt what was done to little average Joe like me and all the people. So you can fake everything, but you cannot fake genuineness.
Mark's the guy who supports the Little League team in baseball. You know what I mean? So it's like I said with him and Reyes. They're honestly, what I see between him and Reyes, they're completely different spectrum people, but they respect each other and they're great friends and they do incredible stuff for America. It's just, I don't know.
Mark, are you here? I'm curious. I read an article about Carson Block the other day being hunted and shit, and I'm curious if you've talked to him.
I can't stand him.
Oh, really? Is he one of the ingenuine ones?
Yeah, he's one of the smash and grab guys. So whatever negative happens to him, I won't be shedding tears for that guy.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, he's that guy's. No, I'm just kind of multitasking and listening to everybody and just happy that I've helped, but I need to warn everyone, I don't get it right all the time, so I make plenty of mistakes. Plenty.
That's why we love you, buddy.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm going to hit on that too. I did a paper back in college on successful people and things they had succeeded at. And one of the most successful people that I personally was my grandfather. So I asked him what he contributed that success to, and he said, I share my success. I celebrate other people's wins. And I think that's what Mark does well, and that's why we all gravitate towards him and like him. And I genuinely appreciate that about him.
Well, you're kind. You just also have to remember, I got 18,800 people blocked. So
Not everyone.
But not because. But you tried to share. You tried to share it with them, Mark. They just wouldn't listen.
Not everyone's on the love boat, gang. I mean, there's plenty of guys who want me at the bottom of the sea. So
I'm gonna call you Jenny from the block.
Honesty and courage. Bottom line, integrity and the courage to fucking say the truth and say it to people who don't like it. You know.
There.
That was the other advice I got from him was you work hard and work with integrity, and that's all you got to do in life.
Every now and then you get this feeling you got to unblock everybody. Okay, I'm gonna restart. Everything's new. People are learning things, and every time I do that, I hate my life. So I understand why Mark has 18. Honestly, we should represent him in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most people blocked on Twitter.
You know what we need? You know what we need? We need him running SEC. It will solve everybody's problem.
Oh my God, dude. That would.
Marc Cohodes running SEC. It'll solve a lot of problems.
That would start World War IV because.
they'd never let it happen.
Nope.
Ever. Yeah.
And if they did, and somebody did something to Mark, me and Sugar and Elo, and probably PJ, because PJ's crazy Italian girl from New York.
Ain't nothing happening to Mark.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's just.
Well, I'm doing this, guys. I wasn't even planning on being on here. I love the kind words. I'm glad I've tried to help. And I got to go cook dinner. I want everyone to have a great weekend. And let's get after Adam, Aaron, Trey, all these bad guys. But thanks again for the kind words. It means a lot.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
We got Wadley with up his hand. Mark, thank you again for everything.
Hey, Sugar.
Hey.
I got to get something off my chest before you put somebody up. You talked about the people on Twitter and YouTube and Reddit and everywhere else talking about CEO Adam, and he's a superstar CEO. And I have to say, just to feel better about myself, he's been called a lot of things, but he's never, ever been called a good or dynamic CEO. He's horrible.
Yeah, he is, man. Believe me, as many names I have called him, as many accounts I have been suspended. Believe me, I didn't run away. I'm on my 6th account and I'm banned for 7 days because I called out Bigum's a junkie and I put all his information over there. So all his people reported me, But yeah, PJ, go ahead.
No, Lee, I posted probably about a year ago a Bloomberg article that wrote about Adam Aaron and called him basically a stunt marketer. He knew how to woo his shareholders way back when. I mean, the article was in 2013. It was really, really an eye-opener for me.
100%. And he did it, and he didn't just do it in the job that he has as the chairman of the board and the CEO of AMC, but he's
known for it.
He took it to Highcroft Mines. And he did it even then. And then he reveled in the fact that he took advantage of the APEs and raised money for Highcroft through it.
Lee, when I started with all these people, Spence, Tara, PJ, and Elo, Tara, it meant something. Like, there were so many good people who wanted, to make money and fairness in market and bring justice and all that. And, for me, somebody like me who was never into stocks and all that, I really wanted change. I was like, let's go, guys, fight together. And for the longest, I was always about community. If people were shitting on me, I still let it go. People called me names, racist attacks, every single thing. I'm on my 6th account. It's not because I came here for likes and, follows or, I need to start my YouTube channel and whatnot. But I will not give up till I see the end of this. And by the end of this means is to see Adam Aaron and every grifting piece of shit who used good, hardworking investors and all these people
It will be the best day of my life when I get what they did and get what they deserve.
Well, I think I mean you're spot on in that in the beginning it was hey let's buy AMC it could run it could we could make a lot of money blah blah blah, and then it became hey you know what, I'm buying more AMC because pardon my French but fuck Ken Griffin and all those guys, and then it became now it's now the justice is with the CEO of the company that we saved.
And you know what makes me wonder?
There she is.
Focused on Ken Griffin. Focused on Ken Griffin. Focused on. They didn't even have the biggest AMC short.
Pay me for my billboards. Oh my god. I want Ken Griffin on my billboard.
Our eyes were on the wrong people the whole time, and I have to wonder if that was created.
It was. It was 100%.
You know why? Because Mark told us, well, how many 2 years ago or so that it was the focus was on the wrong place. It's not. I mean, Ken Griffin. I'm not going to speak for him, but I believe that he dislikes him as much as anybody else. But he said that shouldn't be your focus. That should not be the focus. It's not him who's doing this.
Oh yeah, exactly. I remember, but no, I'm not. I'm talking about well, yes, all the people that started the hate for Mark and the hate for Citadel first, and then the hate for Mark and all short sellers. I mean, it was incredible. Ugh.
That's when it became the whole, short. That's what, quote unquote, tainted Mark to the community was that he was a short seller, or that's what he's famous for. But there's a huge difference in the short selling that those companies do, where they intend to bankrupt the company and walk away with all the money, versus what Mark does, where he goes after bad actors. And for whatever reason, they can't see the difference.
You know what, Lee? That's called activist short seller. And some of these fucks like Trey, who portrayed him as a predatory short seller, that's the thing. Like, this was whole design. When Mark came in the picture, believe me, Adam Aaron and a lot of these grifting fucking YouTubers, they were pissing in their pants. Because people knew Marc Cohodes' name and what he stands for. And they created this whole damn narrative. All these grifters, all these YouTubers, including all these insiders, AMC insiders, if you find the truth, why they didn't want to go with P0 when the stock was at $43, you will find the truth. You will find every single that's out there. But that's the thing. If you are looking for truth, or if you are not looking for truth, if you are looking for truth, truth is out there. You will find it. But only if
you're giving those YouTubers and influencers way too much credit. I bet you what happened was that when Mark came onto the scene with AMC, especially when he bought AMC and went long, that the hedge funds sent people right into the community to get, to sway everybody against Mark. And it just so happened that the dumbest ones of all had the biggest mouths of all, and they swayed everybody else. I mean, I could see that being a complete setup.
Is anybody else wasted, or is it just me?
I am too, man.
I'm smashed.
I have a few shots. Now I'm on my 6th year. So
Mark left because I was praising him, but I was like, I fucking love you, buddy.
Mark left because he found out you were drinking Bud Light, buddy.
God, sugar.
Yeah, just keep it there.
Sugar, we're going to have this thing in Albuquerque where everybody comes to visit me, and the first thing I'm going to do, man, me and Elo are just going to fuck Sugar up, dude.
No, you ain't. But I'm going to go, guys, but I just want to say one thing. It has been a good ride with all of you guys. I've learned. I have, made some good friends, and I have even, I can't, I'm nobody who can say that, I have helped people, but, I tried.
You're somebody, Sugar. You're somebody.
I try to be a good human being.
You are.
And after all this is done, I hope none of you lose money. I hope you guys can make money. And even whatever money you get, don't be disheartened and don't lose hope. Somebody like me, when I came in this country, man, I had nothing and I grew up with nothing. And if somebody can get somewhere, all of you guys can, do it. So, I just don't lose hope and don't give up on yourself. Yeah, you will find shady people, but you will find good people too. Where there is bad, where there is good too. So, just keep yourself up and don't give up on yourself and your hope on yourself. And I gotta go, man. I have too many beers in me, and I just,
You drinking all that Bud Light, bro?
Yeah.
Cheers to that, Sugar. But I'll say a mistake is not a mistake if a lesson's learned. And this might have been a very, very high tuition cost for people to learn this lesson, unfortunately, including myself. And I was one of those that just stayed the game, and I sold off some when Mark told me, or Mark talked about what he would do, but still learned a lesson. And I think that that overall, no matter what, we still learned enough to know how it all goes. And so it was costly, but it'll pay dividends in the future.
And I just want to say one last thing before I leave. Please be considerate about others' feelings. I understand. People have said me so much worse that I have never heard in my real life as much as I've heard in Twitter. But I still wish people don't get to that point that you have to hate people with hate. Just be considerate. I know some of them have been right, some of them have been wrong, but you don't know what people are going right through. So just be considerate about other people's their lives, their families, their losses, and everything, and just put your egos aside and be a good human. Because at the end of the day, none of us we will take not a single dollar from this world. None of us will. The least we can do is be a good human being to each other.
Sugar, you're salt of the earth, buddy. I can't wait to drink a beer with you.
We will, brother. Cheers to all of you guys. I'm gonna get off, and love to all of you guys, and hope to talk to you all soon, man.
I'm gonna get off too. I'm gonna go get off too, Sugar.
All right, guys.
All right, Spence, you gotta wrap it up, man.
I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm getting buzzed, and I'll tell you, this is full circle. This is full circle.
Isn't it?
Yep. I want to let you guys, Jake, Lee, Sugar, Elo, PJ, everybody speaking right now. If you guys have a closing statement, fucking nail it, and then I'm gonna close the space. So.
I'll start. Let's go get the silverback.
So I agree. I would absolutely say yes to that. But I do want to I want to thank you guys for, think about it for a moment, right? If you saw all of this and you were by yourselves and you didn't have a space call or you didn't have a group of people, would you think you were going crazy? I mean, for me, like I was telling Mark, when I repeat the story, people think I am absolutely batshit. So I want to thank you guys for always being there, always being able to speak and available so that we could discuss this crazy stuff that went down, because it was none other than absolute insanity for 3 years. And I'm really glad it's over. I'm going to pray for everybody who is stuck or who is losing money, that somehow it comes back to them. And I really, really, really am happy that we're coming to it.
Well, thanks for not being Jen, PJ.
We can go on from here to huge things, and that is getting Adam out.
Huge.
Exactly.
Oh, that's all we do. That's what me and Elo do, is huge fucking things, man.
I'm gonna say this one thing. Let's hold people accountable who used us,
who used one of the biggest movement who could have brought change like nobody has ever imagined. Let's hold these people accountable, and let's not forget that this is not the end of the world. You can always get somewhere as long as you're willing to learn, grow, fight, and make yourselves better. And at the end of the day, be whoever you want to be. You can be Adam Aaron's fan or, not his fan. But at the end of the day, be whoever you want to be. Don't forget to be a good human
Sugar
being.
need to run for fucking president, man.
But on top of that, Sugar, like she was saying, that it was, if you were alone in it, you would feel crazy. Or as you were telling people about this, they would think you were crazy. But the bottom line is, that's what they didn't expect. They being CEO Adam and all the other people on the other side. And so moving forward, did he screw the retail investors? Yes. Will that happen all the time? No. And so the community as a whole can still fight this complex that is Wall Street if we choose to do so.
And you know what else they didn't expect? The timing of Spaces. I think Spaces played a real integral part in getting everyone together and putting voices and emotion to the Twitter handle.
100%.
And Spaces, see, that's the thing, PJ. Spaces were one of the most important, played a very important part, but at the same time, there were people like, I don't want to call APE Radio, they were misleading people too. So, I understand that these spaces are really good.
I've unblocked everybody from APE Radio. They can come in right now. They won't, though.
I'm just saying, but the damage they did to people when we could have accomplished something.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying
we couldn't have accomplished it, I think, or anything without the space.
Without space calls, yes. You are 100% right.
I would not be here right now if it was not for fucking Tara. I'll tell you that right now.
But as far as that's the good part of it. But the damage was done from YouTube, period, and all the grifters on YouTube, 100%.
That's why I give away anything I make on YouTube. I've been giving it away.
I look at Spaces as a place where we came together and said, what the actual fuck is going on?
Yes.
All right, guys. Over and out. Peace out and much love and respect to everybody. Don't give up hope.
Elo, are you singing or are you got somebody over?
That's my Bible thing.
Sugar, what's going on?
No, that's my bottles, man.
You give some of them Illinois bottles, bro.
That's the song they played. That's the song they played my senior year at high school, I think. It's like with all those sad pictures up.
Y'all gonna see a picture of me and Elo in Albuquerque on a rooftop.
Elo don't drink, man. He's one of those. He drinks water. He don't drink.
Him and Tara, dude, they're stronger people than I am. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. As long as you got the real picture, not that fake picture, 6'6" or whatever the fuck he calls himself.
Sugar talking all this shit.
Well, Sugar talks so much shit. Elo just got another follow from me, so he's all good. Who's that?
All right, guys. You guys have a good night, man.
I'm going. It's Friday. I'm going out into Albuquerque. Y'all, I hope you make money. Get bent. I don't fucking care no more. I love y'all, but
Spence, take care, buddy.
Dude, Lee, you the man.
I appreciate it.
Real quick.
Appreciate you.
Sarah, Tara and Mark for coming up in the call. Thank you. Elo, Sugar, PJ, Lee, Jake. I mean everybody. Jack. Just let's do this, man. Get our money back. And we're gonna fucking go after this dude for fucking everybody for years. Adam Aaron.
Damn right.
Let's do it.
Yep. Okay, have a good night, guys.
Peace.
You too, Sugar. Later.